What is up, everyone, and welcome to the WAN Show. The big news, of course, this week is that dBrand and Zack from Jerry Rig Everything have, been stolen from. Allegedly. I'm saying that allegedly, mostly ironically, because it looks pretty cut and dried. This is not legal advice. Yeah, it is technically still allegedly. And they have been stolen from by Casetify. So we're going to be getting you guys up to speed if you haven't been keeping track of all the spicy drama that's been going on around that. Also, what else? Sony patents save states? This cannot be as simple as the headline, so, allegedly. We're going to get to that a little bit later. What else we got today, Luke?
Nothing reverses on the Blue Bubbles, and there's some other spice along with that story,
that
which
is still
might be in here.
Such a dumb name for a company.
Nothing.
If I didn't know what you were talking about, I still wouldn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Nothing reverses on the Blue Bubbles. Yeah, nothing reverses on the Blue Bubbles. What does that even mean? Sorry, go ahead.
Speaking of what does that even mean, Sam Altman returns.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
What's even happening?
Who knows? Doesn't matter. Show is brought to you by Ridge, Seasonic, and Newegg. And of course, Black Friday deals, I'm sure, on all of those sites right now. Got some Black Friday deals on LTTStore. Hey, Dan, I noticed we have 69 merch messages already. How's that treating your fingers over there?
It's going well.
That's not the one.
I'm getting extremely efficient at it.
Nice. Extremely. Oh, I get it, because we're streaming.
No.
Extremely.
That's pretty good.
I'll show myself out. All right, why don't we jump right into the big headline topic. Zack Nelson of Jerry Rig Everything and dBrand of dBrand are suing device accessory company Casetify for copyright infringement after Casetify allegedly copied their collaborative teardown series of device skins. Now, I'm sure that your immediate reaction to this is, well, now hold on just a gosh darn minute. How exactly is it that you could copyright a picture of the inside of a phone? Right? Like, that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
dBrand didn't make the phone. Zack wasn't the first person to take the back cover off of a phone. How does that make sense? Well, here's the thing. If you watch Zack's video, sorry, I'm just going to call him Jerry Rig Everything, because that's, the channel name. So many people think his name is Jerry. His name is not Jerry. His name is Zack. I'm so sorry to burst your bubble. Anyway, if you watch Zack's video, he walks through how teardown is not just taking a picture of the phone once the back is removed. They actually go to a lot of work to take artistic liberties with it, right? Like they'll touch up this and they'll enhance that, and they will, you know what? We'd actually really like it if the copper was showing on the charging coil. Let's expose that copper, and then let's composite that back onto it. So really, it's more like a digital creation separate from just a picture of the back of the phone without the back on it. And part of this process, because, it's dBrand and dBrand memes, is that they added a number of in-jokes and Easter eggs to the artwork.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a little damning.
So here's the thing. Back in March, Casetify was selling a similar series of skins, but instead of going to the work of getting phones and taking them apart, which is a hassle, you need a heat gun,
maybe like a pry tool from iFixit,
like an iFixit kit. I mean, that'll cost you. Hold on a second. I actually think I get it. Here, look, guys. Look, it's Black Friday right now, so this is not fully representative, right? Like, this would be even more expensive if I were to get a ProTech bundle, that would be $97 and 99 cents. That is Canadian dollars.
So like $4 American.
Yeah. And it would be maybe 20% more than that. For a company the size of Casetify, I can see how that would be an unreasonable expense.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend $100 from some weird beaver country, and so to be able to take apart a phone. No, I think I actually I'm coming around to Casetify's side on this.
The Casetify Bounce Extreme case costs more than that.
So anyway, back in March, they had a line of skins, and instead of taking apart the phones, which we've established is very expensive,
yes.
right? They just used the same internal scan of an iPhone on every phone, which seems like a valid shortcut to me. I mean, if I was one of those people who goes and spends, iPhone money on not an iPhone, I'd probably want to rock iPhone all over the back of my not iPhone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not, I'm not all counterculture, anti iPhone or whatever. That doesn't matter to me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So dBrand mocked them for this back in March, and Casetify, I think their defense is really gonna boil down to, if dBrand's claims end up being true, that Casetify ripped off their teardown skins, I think Casetify's best shot at a defense is going to be something along the lines of, "They made fun of me." Because that seems to be a lot of the rationale for what came next. Because in August, Casetify was selling a series of skins far more like Teardown, in which they were matching the internals of the phone that they were applied to. There are some differences between what Casetify was selling and what dBrand was selling. For instance, Casetify's was more expensive. That's a difference.
That is a difference. That is a major difference when it comes to purchasing decisions.
The image,
maybe the increased cost means quality.
Yeah, I mean, look,
I want the best one.
I want the best one too, and when I go for the best one, I am looking for the one that is blurrier. That's what I want. That says quality to me. Because think about, like, on your TV. Do you leave the sharpness at default? Or do you turn it down? You turn the sharpness way down.
Dude.
100%. That's the first thing I do with the TV. I turn off any kind of motion compensation, and then I turn the sharpness way down. And then for good measure, I like to take a little dollop of Vaseline, okay? Petroleum jelly, and I give that a good smear all over the screen. It's like free anti-aliasing.
When I save something in paint.net, quality to the bottom.
100%.
If I have a JPEG on the internet, I want it posted at least 50 times before I see it.
Well, look, the thing is, Luke, I don't even think you're taking this seriously right now, because
not enough.
There's no way that would be your process. If you're like me, first you would set the quality to the bottom, then you'd save it. You'd open that file again. You'd drag the slider down. See,
I've got a lot to learn.
I am. This is why I'm still able to mentor him.
Yes. I'm out here grinding, but I still got ways to go.
So Casetify, the main differences were that were lower quality, lower image quality, and cost more, and also they were missing some of dBrand's Easter eggs and hidden in-jokes. Examples of these in-jokes were strings of characters like R0807, which is robot in Leet speak, essentially.
Bit of a giveaway.
Part of dBrand's whole shtick is that the company is run by robots or whatever. Spoiler, it's not, but it's a cool branding thing that they do, and it's kind of neat. So you can see right here, blurrier and definitely still present. You will not find this string of characters on any real phone ever. What's really damning about this is that some of dBrand's in-jokes and Easter eggs were removed. So that is an indication that Casetify knew what they were doing. They just didn't know what they were doing very well. So another great example is this right here. This is the original dBrand skin. Glass is glass and glass breaks. Remember, this is a collaboration with Zack from Jerry Rig Everything. That's a thing he says all the time, just like light scratches at 6, blah, blah, etc., 7, etc. Over here on Casetify, we see, yep, it almost just looks like they downloaded the image off of dBrand's website, printed it, and then forgot to scrub it for this. They seem to have added their own QR code here. So they've made obvious changes. Okay, so this said subscribe. See, they caught this. They caught the subscribe.
Yeah.
They replaced that with a Casetify Easter egg, but what they missed was the digits 11, 11, 11, which, as dBrand points out, is the founding date of, you guessed it, dBrand. Why would Casetify have 11, 11, 11 on their product unless they were just trying to shout out their competitor?
Yikes.
Oh, hey, look at this. dBrand referenced us in their exhibits. I'm exhibit D. Why am I exhibit D? You fucks. I want to be exhibit A. No, I don't care. So this is interesting. They've got a little Illuminati stupid pyramid because they're into that sort of thing. You guys probably remember the pyramid PC that we built for them, and you can see that it's like,
it looks like it's crying on the Casetify one.
Yeah, it's broken, but it's definitely still there. Man, it's amazing how low quality some of these are. That is kind of wild.
That's rough.
So this was part of the whole process of making these skins more than just a sticker. And yeah, dBrand sells stickers. Like, come on, realistically, sure, yeah, it's they're stickers, but they're good stickers. They use authentic 3M vinyl. A lot of the old talking points. You go back and look at like the old spots we used to do for them, where we talked about the unique colors because they would purchase in large enough quantities that they could have exclusive colors or whatever else. We talk about the use of authentic 3M vinyl, so it sticks really well, but doesn't leave a residue when you take it off. All that good stuff. And this process was part of making it not just a sticker, even if it is just a sticker, but fun. Something that if you pay attention to the tech niche on YouTube, I think that's something that dBrand does that people don't really give them enough credit for. Is a lot of brands, when you engage with them, they want you to talk about their product, they want you to pimp the product or whatever. Obviously everybody's out there buying advertising. Why? So that they can sell more shit, right? Like dBrand's no exception there. But what is exceptional is that dBrand actually, at a very, very high level within the company, cares about the tech space, follows tech creators. Like I will get questions following up about some video that had absolutely nothing to do with dBrand, that they didn't sponsor, that they were not involved in any way and would have no desire to be involved in, but they're just curious because they thought it was a cool video or whatever. And it's not the kind of thing that you can fake. Trust me, as someone who has been bullshitted by every kind of agency person, talking about how much I love your channel and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, that this is not a makeup channel, right? Like this
every comment they make about it is about like the last one or two videos.
Yes. Yeah. Like you can smell it a mile away, and that's not the case with them, right? So it shows how little due diligence Casetify bothered to do here, that they would not realize that this was a bad idea. The fact that they found some of the Easter eggs and didn't think, we need to stop because we might have missed something and this is going to look pretty bad, just shows the brazenness of this.
Yeah.
Anywho, let's keep going. According to Zack, his content getting stolen isn't new, but the difference is that Casetify is a $1 billion company. This is according to recent comments from their founder. I haven't actually seen the recent comments personally, but I have no real reason to distrust Zack at this point in my life. I've done enough dealings with him that he seems, from every interaction with him, to be just completely a stand-up guy. I respect him a lot. And he feels this needs to be met with legal action in order to act as a deterrent against this sort of thing happening again. dBrand and Zack are releasing a new X-ray skin to help fund the legal costs, and Zack vows to use any money awarded to continue to invest in capacity in his wheelchair manufacturing business. Super cool. Following the accusation, Casetify has delisted their Inside Out, which are not teardown cases, from their website. And further, according to the LTT subreddit,
Let's go.
Casetify's X-ray case appears to have originated from iFixit. Are you kidding me?
You didn't know about this?
No.
That's why I made the iFixit comment.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, iFixit has responded as well. By the way.
What'd they say?
I've got it on my screen right now. Let's jump over here.
All right. What do we got? Dear Casetify, using stolen X-rays of phone internals doesn't make you a tech genius. It makes you a copycat. Nice. Oh, freaking roasted.
And dBrand has the GIF showing the image flip.
No way.
Yep.
Man. Now, to be clear, if you were to X-ray the same phone, you would obviously end up with a very similar image.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that's not similar.
It's exactly the same.
That's identical.
And it's under the wrong phone, right?
And you could have differences that are caused by a slightly different positioning of the phone. You could have differences that are caused, well, mostly, you could have differences that are caused by the X-ray machine that you're using. There's no way that two separate shots would have exactly the same settings applied to them. Like there's some pretty...
The shading might even be a little bit different. Like it's an exact copy. It's too similar.
Oh man, this might be just the tip of the iceberg here. One Twitter user, apparently in Iran, reports that he bought another teardown ripoff from Mahout Leather, who are apparently the largest phone skin company in the country. I would say good luck going after Mahout Leather compared to going after Casetify. Where's Casetify based?
What is his name? My Rail?
I mean, compared to dBrand, they're not based at all, but...
got him.
Got
My Rail in Floatplane chat said it's not identical to iFixit. iFixit has a better quality image.
Well, yeah, that's the... Okay. It's identical in intent.
Very good.
Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you guys, like we've looked into getting X-ray scans of devices before, and the equipment is not cheap.
No,
you are making a significant investment in order to obtain that imagery, and if someone's just taking it from you, that's not cool. So yeah, where are these guys located? The contact page doesn't have it, which is never a good sign. Returns and exchanges. Maybe they have an address. Quick links. Affiliate program. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay.
What are you looking for on their site?
Oh, here we go. Founded October 1st, 2011, Hong Kong. 1,000 employees? Wow. That's, welp. Good luck with that, Casetify. I think that... I actually have no idea what the difficulties will be like of going after an overseas company like Casetify. Being in Hong Kong, I don't know, there could be some challenges, but I'm sure this is something that dBrand has considered. And realistically, I think that they end up with a huge W here regardless, because this has generated a ton of buzz. I think it has created a lot of conversation around the legitimate innovation that dBrand does in the space that I think people don't necessarily properly respect when there are so many... Well, it's kind of the same thing. Products that exist, everywhere from Iran to Hong Kong to Canada. Did I mention dBrand? Our Canadian boys?
Yeah.
Have I mentioned that? Did I mention that? Okay. All right. Well, we've mentioned that now. And so I think they come out of this looking like the innovators that they are. I think they come out of this looking like the good guys, doing the work. That's something that I think anybody can respect. Stealing the work, I think, is a lot harder to respect. doing the work. Like, okay, I mean, look at all the controversy around React content, for example. Some people are going to defend it, but I think most people have kind of shifted their mindset to that if you are especially not contributing anything back to the original creator, you're basically just a freeloader. Whereas I don't think there has ever been any question that the original creators of the content being reacted to should not be respected. If you do the work, you deserve the respect. And I think that's something where dBrand comes away looking really good as well. I think it's
someone in Floatplane chat, Myken, not sure, says Casetify has an NA branch, North America branch, with the company, which is located in LA.
Okay, that makes it...
That's go-afterable.
Yeah, that makes it a lot easier to go after.
Not that they should necessarily knee-jerk, although it looks pretty clear, but we'll still see over time. But they do a lot of collaborations, not just with influencers. They do collaborations with influencers. If you scroll down on Casetify's website, Kylie Jenner, Joe Jonas, and Lauren. And then if you go up here, brands. Disney, Harry Potter, Disney. I don't know if Sailor Moon is Disney or not. More Disney.
Do you know for sure that they just didn't go to Disney.com and download that logo?
They do have two of the same logo. This is not an infinitely scrolling list. I can't press the right arrow. They have Disney Princess twice.
What about second Disney Princess?
Do they have anything else twice? No. What? At first, I assumed it was just like a carousel, but it's...
Okay, wow. So what you're saying is this is a pattern of jank.
Yes. That's pretty funny. But yeah, no. Marvel, Disney, Evangelion, like there's quite the range here. Yeah.
I gotta wonder what
One Piece,
what partners think of this if this registers for them. Like I wouldn't want my brand anywhere near someone that was being sued for such a blatant, such blatant copyright infringement. Especially I'm someone like Disney. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I don't care, but maybe I do.
I think. I could be wrong here, but I think Disney has pulled out of stuff in the past. I have vague memories, but I don't remember what. So I'm not sure if it's real or not. But yeah, I don't know. It's always interesting to see what happens around these situations. Obviously, you want to wait to see, like, is it legit? Looks pretty, open and close on this one, but we'll see. But yeah, kind of rough. Literally having, like, dBrand specific things on the product is like
it's not a good look.
I don't know how you make it out of that one.
Now I gotta be honest with you. I've known about this for a while and it's been pretty hard for me to like
just sit on it.
Yeah, just be like sitting on it waiting for it to drop. But obviously this is Zack's and dBrand's party. They needed to be the ones to break the news, and I thought that Zack did a great job with the video. Mm-hmm. Have you watched it by any chance?
I skimmed it very quickly.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Busy this week.
He it had kind of a slow and plodding pace, but you can tell that was the intent. Mm-hmm. If you watch the whole thing, which I have up until 11 and a half minutes when I, as Austin Evans calls it, smelled blood in the water and realized the video was over, so I jumped off of it. Yeah. But I watched the first 11 and a half minutes or whatever it was, and, it's not tailored to me. Like, there's certain points that he makes 3 times, and I prefer points to be made 1 time, and I prefer people to talk a little bit faster. But what he did was he laid it out in such a way that if you sit there and dedicate 11 and a half minutes of your time, you will come away understanding his point of view. I think clearly recognizing that he is not the aggressor in this situation. This is not because he's just like a lawsuit happy American or anything like that. That is not the impression that I get either from the video or, more importantly, from my personal interactions with Zack. And I think that's something he conveyed really well in the video. And I think you come away with a really clear understanding of how black and white this situation is. if his video is anything but a completely just out to lunch fabrication, it's bad.
I think
for
the
Casetify.
Wombo
And it's not. It's clearly not.
I think the Wombo combo is really good. Like his thumbnail is killer. First of all, absolutely killer. He looks like a Chad, and the big like robbed.
He always looks like that.
Just fully blacked out text behind him is like just fantastic thumbnail. Brings you in, but then the video isn't like this crazy bloodthirsty hype fest.
No,
it's factual.
Yep.
It's controlled.
Yep.
And that's like I think that combination was very, very good. Anyways, anything else to say on the topic?
No, not really. I think overall we've been seeing a lot of creator support for dBrand. They actually messaged me that a handful of creators have already talked about this on stream. Apparently, let me have a look here. I don't want to get this wrong. I know Ludwig was in the list of people that have talked about it. XQC apparently talked about it. Moist Critical talked about it. So.
Show the thumbnail. Go watch the video. You'll see the thumbnail that way.
No, does this look like a React channel to you? Here, no, actually, I got to grab a snack. You want to hit the bathroom? Let's just put on Zach's video.
Share stream it.
Yeah, we'll just piece for a little bit. No, that's not how this works, guys. You gotta go watch the video. All right.
You're on your own. I got signed out of the dock.
So good luck, Casetify. Better luck dBrand. Actually, I prefer dBrand. Have good luck. I'd also prefer to do our merch message thing a little bit earlier in the show than usual, Dan, if you don't mind, before we jump into topic 2, just because I've got to give the people some updates on how merch messages are going to work today. As you guys may or may not have noticed, it is Black Friday, and it is the blackest Friday that we have ever had on LTTStore.com. That's right, my friends. Luke, do you want to pull up the store on your laptop so that I can go ahead and just rattle off everything we've got going on?
Yes.
Our solid color screwdrivers are just $59.99. That is 33% off. They are fantabulous and colorful. Same great screwdriver, available in a variety of colors. I believe this is the first time you've been able to get a full-size driver from us for less than $69.99. Nice. You can buy a backpack and get a free windbreaker. This is that one that you like. Oh, wait, no, you love the 3D down.
I do like this one.
Yeah, so anyone else would have called this a rain jacket. It's a super high quality coat. It has all the like taping and waterproof materials that anyone else would call waterproof. I'm just a picky boy, and I refuse to call anything waterproof. So it's a windbreaker. It's a really, really nice jacket. So you guys can get that for free if you pick up a backpack, wear them together. Just pick your size and head to checkout. That's a $120 value. WAN hoodies are just $34.99. WAN sweatpants were on sale. Those are sold out. Sorry, you guys are going to need to move fast if you want to snag these deals. They're pretty much all limited quantities. Our plaid flannels, Luke is not keeping up very well, but he's doing his best. He's on his phone. Our plaid flannels are just $19.99. That is all colors and styles. So we've got lots of different options. You know how to use the site that you direct the development of? Yeah, there you go. Our color block hoodies are just $19.99. One of my personal favorites is the TechLinked one. I love that one. Up.
Did I go
down,
past it?
Down. Oh, no, never mind. No, never mind. I was looking at something else.
What a guy.
Yeah, whatever. Color block hoodie is $19.99. We've got 25% off all colors of blank t-shirts. So if you just really like the quality of our shirts and you don't really need logos all over your stuff, then you can just pick up some blank t-shirts. We've got a ton of different colors. That's actually been the top seller today. The blank t-shirts.
Block? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. They're already a pretty good price as it is, so now they're 25% off. We have $9.99 mystery desk pads. Hey, there they are. Color block hoodies. Nice. We have $9.99 mystery desk pads. Those are 900 by 400 millimeters. A little hint for you guys. It's possible that we had some leftover LTX designer series.
Oh. That's where you would put mystery items.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I can't.
Maybe.
I don't know. I can't guarantee.
Potentially.
For real, I can't guarantee what it'll be. but it is possible that there might be something like that in there.
Conrad made a collection for all the Black Friday deals, and I just didn't read the button.
Nice.
There's a button in the top that shows you all the Black Friday deals.
Nick messaged me about that too.
Nice.
That makes sense.
Hey, look, WAG hoodie. WAG hoodie on sale. So you got to get the WAN hoodie and the WAG hoodie. You guys can match. We have 50% off circuit desk pads, 33% off jerry rig knives. We do, in fact, get these from Zack. These are not just a picture of his knife that has been copy pasted onto our website. And if you add an item to cart, do you want to maybe throw a jerry rig, throw a jerry rig everything knife in the cart, and then head over to the cart? The bonus bin has some pretty cool stuff in it today. You can get all the usual things like sticker packs, but we also have beanies. That's right, my friends. You can add a beanie for free to your order.
Which Linus Pokemon do you want?
Yeah, it's amazing how similar they all look. These are these are not photoshopped to different colors.
They look like that thing when you go to clothing stores that just reproduce, where it's just edited.
Nope, no, I'm just that consistent. They are all slightly different. See, look, that one's a little different. We have some cute little bonus pins, bonus GPU Christmas tree ornament. There's a purple beanie. More beanies, bonus puzzle, the one-piece puzzle. It has nothing to do with an anime, a manga? I can never remember the difference.
Probably both.
Sure, whatever. It has nothing to do with that one piece. It is just a wall decoration. It's a puzzle that's just one piece. It just looks like you did the puzzle.
Yeah.
So we had the die cut halfway through, so you can just be like, yeah, look, I made this puzzle.
Yeah.
And I guess if you really wanted to, you could.
You could dig through the rest of it.
I have no idea how it's packed, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't remember how we solved that problem. Anywho. Now, there is one more thing that we are supposed to talk about, and that is Sarah's new shirt design that is apparently a launch specifically for WAN Show. Luke, did you find that? It's something to do with this thing that is on our desk.
No, I didn't. You told me not to look for it.
Well, no, I told you to look at it during the show. Oh, here it is.
Oh, there's a shirt and a hoodie.
Whoa, you can get a hoodie. Okay, cool. Okay, so we're on Luke's screen now? Okay, so you want to see the 15... Oh, yeah, it's our birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, LTT is 15. 1 year until it can drive. Oh, that's cool.
That is pretty cool.
Okay, so it's 15 hexagons, because those are the very best gons. Do you mind zooming a little bit, maybe? And we have... Oh, this is so cool. So Sarah did a design stream, and I guess she took feedback from viewers for what they should be. So we've got top left, Langley House original kitchen set. Actually,
that's pretty good.
Great representation.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah, it's basically like she took a picture of it and pasted it onto our shirt.
That's crazy.
There's a sponsor segue. Love it.
Pretty good.
Bread, strawberry, and turnip.
Yep.
We got all the fruits.
The turnip callback is that's pretty legit.
People wanted a fire truck, a fire pole, also a C on the truck for
a C on the truck.
Fire Colton. Wow, there's so many layers to that meme hexagon right there.
Wow, yeah.
All the channels, shows, and brands that came after LTT is the next one. So we've got WAN, Short Circuit, Floatplane, MAC Address, TechLink, TechQuickie, and Game Linked. Very nice, very nice.
Missing
Floatplane?
No.
Oh wait, no, Floatplane's in there. Oh wait. Channel Super Fun. Where the is Channel Super Fun?
That's not the only one.
Nowhere. Oh, hold on. Well, LMG Clips doesn't count.
It's still one more.
Oh. Rip Carpool Critics. You were never loved that much. No, in all seriousness, though, it actually, the people who found it loved it.
Oh, yeah.
And the couple episodes that I listened to back when they were kind of figuring out the style for it and everything, I actually really enjoyed. I think they did a great job of it. I think it's just not our wheelhouse.
And the podcasting space is way oversaturated.
It's super competitive.
Yeah.
Number 6. What do you think 6 is? Don't look. Don't look at the key.
I didn't. Okay. So the one with the saw and the hammer, Scrapyard Wars.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
We got socks and sandals and a drop to GPU. The original Linus Tech Tips opening branding. Stolen from Tom Arnold. Very nice. not that Tom Arnold. Tom Arnold, the artist at NCIX. And to be clear, he actually reproduced this for us very recently. I didn't expect him to do that. I asked him, do you have the original artwork by chance? And without prompting, Buddy was like, no, but I remade it for you. I was like, oh, you don't have to do that, Tom. That's really nice, but you really didn't have to do that. But it's done now. Thank you so much. Number 9, eggshell. Love it.
That got a whole tile. Wow.
Really? Okay. So this is another combo one. What's the combo next to the eggshell one?
Okay, so the cat ears thing, but then is that also... That's like the intro, the intro with the smiley face.
Yeah.
But it has the like music behind it, so I'm assuming it's a reference to that song.
Yeah. You got all of it.
I don't remember the name of the song.
Okay, what about 11? What's that?
11. So that's this one?
Yeah.
Okay, well, 69 degrees.
Nice.
The tubing's in a particular shape.
Yes. What's
it's
it cooling?
Clearly water cooling. Is it supposed to represent, is that like a roof? Is this whole room water cooling?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Got there.
Yep.
Got there.
And the next one's pretty obvious. All the lands.
Yeah. Whale Land, Highlander.
I have to admit, I haven't looked at this one yet. I am not sure what is on fire. It's something.
I know the next two after that, but this one...
Something on fire.
Hot takes? Does it have something to do with hot takes?
Oh, no, it's the roast.
Yeah,
but I mean, you know what? I actually like your double interpretation of it. That's pretty good.
The roast makes sense, though, because it's a coffee bean on fire.
Yeah, so
I get it now.
It's just meant to be some of the noteworthy things that have happened over the last 15 years. Super cool. Sarah did a great job. Massive A assist. Sorry, an A doesn't sound that great. Massive assist to the community for helping her out with the stream. That's really cool. Thank you so much, you guys.
Oh, the fact that it comes in a pink shirt is actually kind of rad.
Oh, what do you got?
It comes in pink.
That actually makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
That's the one I would want.
I think the pink shirt is the like canonically correct shirt. I don't know.
But of course, if we need a black one, we'll just print.
Yeah,
we'll just print you a black shirt because we know that's what you want. All right.
It's just not correct to the original novel. That's all.
All right. So why don't we jump in? Oh, right. We're supposed to do a couple merch messages.
Yeah, if you fancy.
Yeah, cool. So merch messages, I probably don't have to tell most of you how they work, but hey, we don't do super chats, we don't do Twitch bits, we do merch messages because that way, even if we don't get to your merch message, you'll still get your awesome products in the mail.
Can I read them out? And
that way?
Dan, can you check your team's messages?
Oh, okay. You guys are apparently working on this.
I will read one of these curated ones out, though. I really like this first one.
All right.
I'm going to broadcast it. What is the worst game that you've ever played? Either funny bad or actually bad?
Oh. Worst game I've ever played. Well, it had to be one of the ones that we played when we did that gaming night where we bought the cheapest games on Steam. Like one after the other. There was that prison fight simulator.
That
was a really bad game.
I still remember the name of a lot of those games.
We still play some of those games.
Yeah.
Barrow. Let's go, Barrow.
Barrow prison fight simulator. We played that one where we threw rocks at each other.
Threw rocks at each other. What was? Okay. I don't remember that one.
I don't remember the name.
But I remember hoops. Which kind of fun, actually.
Yeah, a lot of them were like
hooping,
fun in their own weird ways.
Hooping. Hold on. Oh, no. Hooping. Steam. No, grapple hoops. No. Okay, what was it called? I thought it was called. Oh no, basketing. That's what it's called.
I think that's correct.
Basketing. It's $1.23 Canadian. So this is a $1 US game, and basically you're a little ball, and you try to basket it.
It's like extremely bad Rocket League basketball.
Yeah, pretty much. It's actually kind of fun. It's legitimately
for the amount of money that it costs.
Yes,
it was worth it to me.
It is well worth the cost of admission.
I had a good enough time to pay that fee.
Yeah, I would actually strongly recommend if you and the gang are kind of bored and you're just like, oh yeah, I don't know, what do you want to play? I don't know, what do you want to play?
Look up the absolute cheapest online co-op games on Steam.
A lot of it'll be trash. Remember that one that was basically just a tutorial? Like it was like a game creation tutorial that someone just uploaded to Steam.
That was lame.
That was probably the worst game that I've ever played.
Yeah.
It was like an FPS, but I don't really...
If I remember correctly, it was like a Unity game development tutorial that someone did basically nothing to beyond the tutorial and then...
uploaded to Steam.
Yeah.
And we bought it.
Yeah.
For like 30 cents or something.
Yeah.
It was basically nothing. Like it's a very, very, very small outlay, but it was really fun. Really, really fun just playing these super janky, random games.
My favorite answer for this has always been the 2009 first-person shooter, just amazing, stunning game that you've definitely heard of called Rogue Warrior. I played this when I was at university, and I thought the voice lines in this game were so hilariously unhinged that I ended up playing it on speakers, and my roommates just kind of like sat around and listened while they did other things, and we just laughed at everything. Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It definitely doesn't deserve any rating better than that. It's not a good game. It's just really funny. If I remember correctly, Rogue Warrior is based off of a book.
Okay.
Let me see. Rogue Warrior book. Yeah, and this guy, I didn't know this until way after I played the game. I saw the game on some crazy sale. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this game is based off of a book called Rogue Warrior that was written by where's his name? Richard Marcinko. Richard Marcinko, I think, is the voice actor. No, he's the writer. I think he might also be the voice actor. I don't remember what it is, but the lines in the game are hilarious because they're just like so crazy. It's been a really, really long time since I played it. But yeah, it turns out that this guy was like, he was one of the members of some military thing in the States called Red Cells, where they used to run attacks on American military bases to like find vulnerabilities. Like he was like really hardcore. And then he got like, I don't know, he got in trouble for like some crazy stuff and then wrote a book called Rogue Warrior, and then it turned into this game, and it's just wild.
Got it.
Yes. So yeah, Joe. Yeah, that guy. It's nuts. Don't go into it expecting a good game. Only play it if you can find bad games with hilarious voice lines entertaining. That's it.
Okay. Got it. Sounds
like
good to me.
Way overly hyper aggro at all points in time.
What? Look at this anonymous. This is a block of text so that Dan has to read because of the LTT store sale. Good response, Dan. I love it. Yeah, we're getting a few merch messages today.
I'm going to need you to read them to each other today.
That's fine.
At least for this one.
That's fine.
Oh no! Oh wow, the dashboard page took a long
the longer
time to load.
The larger the number gets, the slower it goes. So
the merch message per minute counter is at 15, 16. Holy shit! It just popped up to 18. What the actual fuck is going on here?
Okay, next question. What are your thoughts on the future of Threadripper? I already got burned on the first gen 1950X with basically no real upgrade path and motherboards that keep dying.
Okay. One of our topics for the show this week is actually Threadripper. So I'll answer your question first, and then I guess we'll get into Threadripper because I think they're going to be kind of related. I don't know. AMD has been so inconsistent in their support for the Threadripper platform. You identified one of the problems. Going from first-gen Threadripper to second-gen Threadripper, the core counts went up substantially. So all of a sudden the VRMs for some of those first generation boards were not designed for these new processors, particularly if you were going to really push them with multi-core workloads. Then things really hit the fan with Threadripper 3000, where AMD effectively admitted that the original Threadripper platform was not sufficient, released a new platform, but said, no, but this time we're going to support it. There's going to be an upgrade path. Pfft, rug pull. We got nothing. Threadripper 3000 never got a mainstream upgrade. Instead, you had to go Threadripper Pro, which, you guessed it, got an entirely new socket and platform. So that's 4 generations of Threadripper. I'm talking 1000, 2000, 3000, they skipped 4000, and then 5000. So these 4 generations of Threadripper, 3 platforms, and Threadripper 5 was only Threadripper Pro. So now we get Threadripper 7000, yet another new platform. That is 5 generations of CPUs, 4 platforms. Intel at their worst would give you 2 generations of CPUs per platform. AMD is giving us 1.25. That is a terrible, terrible track record. With all of that said, who cares? Threadripper 7000 is awesome, and our review of it, I think, has a pretty intentional tone. We are tired of being just sort of cynical all the time. I think that it's exhausting for our team. I think it's exhausting for the audience. And what we want to do going forward is we want to get back to our roots, which for us, for me and the rest of the writing team, is just being excited about technology. And so if that means covering something that is super expensive and makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, but is really cool, then we're just going to do it. But in a different way than we might have done it in the past. Like before, we'd just do like, holy look at this thing. Whereas now, I mean, yeah, we've got the labs team to support it. So let's do a review. Let's review Threadripper 7000. But I don't want to get bogged down in, yeah, this thing makes no sense and no one should buy it. And you know what? All of that might be true. But what we always did in the past, and I think we kind of lost track of at some point, was we let you guys make that call. So sure, we do draw some conclusions in the video, but for the most part, we stick to the script. We go, here's what it is. Here's how it did well. Here's where it did not so well. And we think there are some challenges here, but at the end of the day, this is up to you to decide if you guys think that this is the kind of thing that you would like. However, what we've discovered is that not a lot of you are very interested in it. And honestly, I don't know what this means for the high-end desktop as a segment. Like when it went away, when AMD didn't bother refreshing Ryzen Threadripper 3000, I kind of went, well, this sucks, because now all of a sudden my choices are mainstream processors, which at this point have plenty of cores, but might not have the RAM support, certainly not multi-channel, like more than dual channel RAM, but even capacity. Might not have the RAM support that I would want for a prosumer workload, like video editing, for example, or running a small home lab where I might have a lot of virtual machines running. I need a lot of CPU cores, but I'm not doing anything serious on it, so I don't need a Threadripper Pro. I don't need an EPYC. And in some cases, EPYC doesn't even make any sense because the TDPs are so low, the clock speeds are so low, and they don't support overclocking, those enthusiast features that tinkerers like to play with, right? So I was upset when Threadripper went away because it filled this niche perfectly. But then it went away for a generation, and now it's come back, and it's like stronger and more powerful than ever, but in a way that doesn't make any sense anymore. Like, it's got all the cores. It's got support for, I believe it's up to 1 terabyte of memory on the non-pro, on the like consumer Threadripper SKUs. But that's the thing, is Threadripper never needed that. That was never the point of Threadripper. It was supposed to be a little bit hamstrung Oh yeah, the other thing Threadripper's always had is lots of PCIe lanes. You want to have a bunch of storage devices, or you want to have a bunch of peripherals connected to your system. You don't want them going through PCIe switches. Threadripper was the way to go. It was a PCIe switch. And the new ones have all of that, but they're at this price that just doesn't make any sense. Like, here, okay, it's Black Friday, right? Let's go on Newegg.com and search for a Threadripper motherboard. Here we go. Goodness gracious. Yeah, and then the Pro chips came out and they were even more ridiculous. There's the 96 core for, I don't know, a cool 10 grand. Okay, where's the motherboard? Here we go. Yeah. Actually, that's not as bad as I thought. Yeah, okay, that's that's a board whose pricing I was familiar with. That's $1,000 for a motherboard.
This is not even .ca, is it?
This is Threadripper Pro, though. Hold on. Okay, so regular Threadripper. Here's oh man, I can't
you're
even.
On the American side. Them. There's American dollars.
Yeah. Hold on. Where's
Sheesh.
here we go. Threadripper Pro. Oh man, the stupid chipsets this time. So they've got the workstation chipset. We didn't even get into this in the video because it's just like, realistically, no one's buying this shit. Who cares? But they've got two chipsets for the same socket, and then the Pro chipset supports only the Pro chips, but the non-Pro chipset supports the non-Pro chips and the Pro chips, but the Pro chips are kneecapped because they support more memory channels, but these boards don't. I believe they support more PCIe lanes, but these boards don't. So there would be kind of no point buying a non-Pro board and putting a Pro chip in it. But I mean, it's all obviously artificially locked down at that point. Yeah. You could, Intel has done it, although that was a mess. I shouldn't say artificially locked down. It probably makes sense to lock down those Pro tier boards from having the non-Pro chips in them, because you would have features that just don't work, slots that just don't work. Remember when Intel had those HEDT chips that, like, some of them had X number of PCIe lanes and some of them had X plus whatever, and so you'd put these chips into a board and you'd have this like complicated block diagram for like which slots didn't work or which ones operated at half speed when you had a certain kind of chip in it.
That's fun.
Anyway, my point is the 64 core Threadripper non-Pro. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. So the Pro is $73.49 on Newegg, and the non-Pro 64 core is $5,000. By the time you are spending $5,000 on a chip, presumably this is not enthusiast tier anymore. Remember when Intel launched Extreme Edition?
Yeah,
and it was like $1,000 for a CPU. Have you lost your fucking minds?
Outlandish.
Yeah.
They were actually very mad.
Like, don't forget, you still have to buy the rest of this computer.
Yeah.
Have you lost your minds, right?
Yeah.
This is $5,000 for a chip. That's not consumer pricing. That's not prosumer pricing. That's not enthusiast pricing. That's just nothing. That is business pricing. That is, I am making money with this machine pricing.
That's microtransaction gamer pricing.
And so at that point, and I kind of made this point in the video, what's the difference? You might as well just spend the extra $2,000 on the Pro one that has the extra security features, it has the additional memory bandwidth, it has the additional PCIe lanes. What I'm going to spend, there is no way that you are configuring a Threadripper, high core count system here, and you're walking away with a cart that's less than $10,000, not even close. And so by the time you're spending $10,000 on this professional workstation, presumably, that you are going to make money with, you're going to spend the extra $2,000. You're going to get the proper one because, of course you are. If you wanted something that was good enough, you would have just gotten a Ryzen 7950X3D and been done with it. It's 16 cores. It already does like what you do. No offense.
Multiple of them.
Yeah. And if it doesn't do what you do, then you might as well get the good one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just don't understand. It just seems like a nothing product for nobody. And it sucks because Threadripper used to be really cool.
Yeah.
You know, like that was
OG Threadripper was like a vibe.
it was AMD's nod to the community that had supported them for all these years, continuing to buy their processors, even though they totally sucked. It was like an actual, hey, this thing doesn't make any sense. But here you go. You're welcome. Thanks for your support. Like I actually don't think there was a huge profit motivation behind Threadripper, because it's pretty obvious as time has gone on that those kinds of chips would any fab time they have to build those kinds of chips would be better allocated to server chips. And they hadn't built up much market share in the server space at that time. So I guess it kind of made sense to just ship them as Threadrippers. But the second it did make sense for them to just build EPICs or build workstation chips, AMD completely forgot about us and was like, yeah, I don't know, it. If you want to spend $5,000 for a CPU, then I guess you can have it. But I don't know, man. I'm not into it. I don't think that you're being that cool about it. Of course, as we know, no company is your friend. AMD's not your friend. Intel's not your friend. Nvidia is super not your friend. And you know, the second they can charge more for something, they will. And what we need is competition. What we need is Intel to get their head in the game in the HEDT space, come after Threadripper. But the problem is that coming after Threadripper is like, honestly, probably kind of a waste of their time. Like, I think AMD is going to sell so few of these things because the pricing is out to lunch and makes no sense, that Intel might not even identify it as something worth competing with. Man, like OG Threadripper was so cool.
They do.
I built a video.
There was so much hype around it.
A video recording server for that badminton center. Remember that?
Yeah.
During the COVID lockdowns, I wanted to watch my son's tournaments. And so I set up
Which
his
was awesome.
Local badminton center with with these SDI cameras on every court. And then we had it all, Brian the electrician and I actually wired it all up. And cool. I set them up with a system that was capable of processing all those video streams. And I had to be able to do more than just the 5 for the 5 courts, because I had to be able to encode both for the stream and for the local recording in case they wanted to look back through it with the kids and, you know, go through like analysis of the gameplay and coaching and that kind of stuff, right? So I needed to be able to handle 10 concurrent video encodes. And doing that with a GPU, that is totally a possibility. Doing that with a CPU, that is totally a possibility. Guess what is the best solution in either of those cases?
Honestly, I was reading chat for a second.
Threadripper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple at that time, it was a couple generation old Threadripper. I picked up a 1950X, which is like 16 cores. It's a lot of friggin' cores.
It was the best solution for actually a lot of stuff at that time. And it was very exciting. People were stoked when they heard that someone was doing a Threadripper project.
And more importantly, the 1950X had a ton of PCIe, so whether I wanted to put a couple GPUs in there, I could do that. Whether I wanted to do some CPU encoding, you know, maybe on, okay, this is like the showcase court where they put like, you know, the semis and the finals and stuff like that. You know, we could have a nicer encoding quality on that one. You know, right? I could do some CPU encoding as well. It gave me so much flexibility. And those things were affordable, because they were affordable from the get-go, and because AMD was doing so much and innovating so much when it came to adding core counts, when it came to delivering upgraded, newer CPUs that had all this PCIe on them. And I mean, nowadays, you go and you try and find like a, here, for crying out loud, you go and you try and find like a 3970X Threadripper, and they are outlandishly expensive still. I was able to pick up that 1950X for next to nothing because AMD was still innovating and they were still shipping much better processors. Now you're expected to pay $1,300, $1,600. Oh, that's a combo. But you're expected to pay over $1,000 for one of these bloody chips because Intel just stopped. AMD just stopped. Yeah, see, I got them confused because they're behaving the same. Yeah. AMD just stopped innovating. And I don't count, yeah, we made it twice as fast, but it can now cost twice as much. I don't count that as innovating. Who do you think you are, NVIDIA? Like, it's frustrating. And I guess that's all I have to say about that. Threadripper 7000, super cool as an enthusiast who doesn't have a budget. Am I going to put one in my computer? I mean, yeah, I got to heat my pool somehow, but But would I actually recommend that anyone buy one? No. No, I don't think so.
It's interesting because you took that merch message so far that you actually did an entire topic that is in the doc.
I know. I told them I was going to do that. You were busy on your phone.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's okay. I'll just host the show myself today.
I fixed it, if that helps.
Oh, good. Good job.
What was I going to say? We have one more. We have one more to do.
All right.
15 years of LTT. Let's go. What is something you wish
15 more
could be brought back from somewhere in the last 15 years to now?
You know, I was going to say really wacky case designs, but I almost feel like they've leveled up.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how to take this necessarily. Like, is this something from LTT or is this something from the industry?
I don't know. I'm gonna
take it however you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it kind of loose here.
Yeah.
Brought back from the last 15 years to now. Man, I wish that core unlocking was still a thing. Remember those crazy MSI, like copper shrouded Golden Edition GPUs? Like NVIDIA used to do wild stuff sometimes. AMD used to do wild stuff sometimes where they would, just to create product segmentation, they would manually lock off cores, or because they didn't hit their internal power draw or thermal targets or whatever, they would fuse off cores on GPUs or CPUs. But enterprising users would figure out how to unlock them, and in the case of that particular GPU, I think the unlock rate was like over 50%. So you could turn this like hobbled GPU into a full fat one if you were willing to just give it a little bit more beans, and it had this like great copper shroud on it that was able to handle the cooling no problem. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
A lot of people are saying GPU prices.
Yeah,
that's probably the like
prices is a big one.
What do you want for the world peace type of answer, where it's just like objectively correct.
Recognize this?
Yeah.
This is my video.
Yeah.
Of course. So it could unlock to a 470, I think. Yeah, today we are. 465 copper.
All copper.
Twin Frozer Golden Edition.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops, I
The Twin Frozer cards used to be so sick.
You can really tell where the cool stuff is going to happen right here. Right there. There it is. Oh, yeah. Here. Wait for the copper. Here it is. Man, all copper coolers. Okay, yeah. All copper coolers is another thing I would bring back. Apparently Thermalright just did like a throwback all copper cooler recently. Yeah.
That's pretty
Look at this. I just got it in my lap.
Yeah.
Man,
filming outside, dude.
What a professional. Look at this thing. That thing is sick. Hold on, where's the theater mode? Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah. Oh, Twin Frozer. Man.
It looks so good.
Linus, can you hold it still for like 3 seconds? I'm trying to look at all the sexy copper heat pipes. Look at that thing. And you could unlock it for like extra CUDA cores or whatever. Run that thing in SLI. Let's go.
I think, yeah, okay, GPU prices, sure, I agree. But to throw a little bit of a curve, I'd say just overclocking in general is like not really that much of a thing anymore. And I think the experience of building a computer, a lot of it used to be like, okay,
tuning.
You did all the research, you bought all the parts, you got them all home, you put them all together. Now you got to make it really work. You know?
I mean, I do like things being a little easier sometimes when I'm in a hurry.
Yeah, but that's because you do it for work.
4 days ago, Thermalright announced this.
Wait, that's new.
Yeah, this is brand new.
That looks
so this
sick.
is like a throwback.
That looks awesome.
In fact, I believe this part number is even very similar to one of their old all copper coolers. This looks sick.
That looks great. But yeah, I don't agree. I think when things get too easy, they get boring.
I think you're being the Linux community right now.
Sure.
All right. Well, we're on the same page then.
Windows is boring.
Yeah, it's fair.
Fortunately
like
for
now.
me, I actually want Windows to be boring.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But I don't want my computer to be boring.
I see.
Yeah. If I'm actually interested in the thing, I want it to be kind of bad. Because then it's more fun. If I'm not interested in the thing, I want it to be great because I don't want to ever need to think about it.
All right, well, my brain hurts. Good stuff. What are we supposed to be doing now? Dan sounds stressed. You doing okay over there, Dan? We're getting a few merch messages today. Did you set it to no delay so they just go, or like, how are we doing here? Hey, we're down to, you know what? It's getting a little bit more manageable now, I think.
Have you seen?
Here, hold on. No, I mean, that's only 13 merch messages per minute now.
It's pretty good.
I mean, I didn't say manageable. I said more manageable.
That's right. It's so slow. It's so laggy.
Yeah, the poor dashboard is struggling under the weight. I kind of thought that after we did a stream already today, there wouldn't be nearly as much merch message momentum going into WAN Show, but I underestimated the WAN Show audience.
It was fine until you explained it, and then I got 200. I was on top of it for like the first 45 minutes when we did 200.
Right, and then came the hundos. Yep.
Now we're in it.
Now we're in
it, guys.
We're in it. We're in it to win it.
We're in it to win it.
What is MMPS? That's not merch messages per second. Oh, merch messages that have arrived in the last second. So if that number goes above 1, then that's a little scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
I need to go now. Goodbye.
Occasionally it moves pretty fast. Cool. All right. Hey, Sony patents save states. Now, hold on a second. That's not quite what they did.
Yeah, because it sounds like the worst thing ever.
The sources, Insider Gaming and Kotaku. Really. This month, Sony filed a patent that would allow, and this is a quote, users to track back through a campaign and select a specific moment in time without needing to replay entire chapters or the whole game. The patent, titled Content Streaming with Gameplay Launch, shows that gameplay, this is all quote, that gameplay sequences would be split up into sub-chapters complete with trigger points that players can select from.
How is this different?
It's different because rather than using predetermined chapter breaks, it appears the game data will be used to bookmark specific interest points like a boss fight or an achievement.
This just sounds like quick saves. What? Like if you have a game that quick saves when you go through doors, fight bosses, and in this case also get achievements, which I've heard of all of them except for get achievements, but I'm sure some game has that, because why not? I don't know. Then is this not the same thing? You just keep all of them instead of them overwriting themselves.
I was kind of hoping
there'd be something there.
Yeah, you game more than me, but I was kind of hoping that maybe you would have some kind of light to shut, because when I heard this, basically all I heard was Sony patented save states. So that headline is from me.
Yeah.
That was when I think I actually sent this to the news team last week, because this is a last week topic. I just thought it was wildly funny that A, Sony would think to patent this, and B, that anyone would think it makes any sense to grant a patent around a method of saving your game.
Was this actually granted? Like they have this patent?
Oh, no, filed. Sorry.
Yeah, because
to imagine that anyone would grant a patent for this.
There's no way, because it's not like when you were first describing it, I was like, oh, wow. So they mean you can effectively, in racing games where you can rewind?
Like a rewind.
I was like, they mean you could rewind the whole game? I was like, that's actually kind of crazy. And then it's just like, no. It just quick saves, and we just keep the quick saves instead of overwriting the quick saves.
The Insider Gaming article about this is kind of positive about it.
What?
It says, this will be a huge win for content creators, for example. Do you want to make a video showcasing how to defeat a particular boss? Well, with this new feature, you can jump straight to that fight, he's so upset, without needing to tailor a save around it or play the game up to that point, which might be several hours at least.
Are you drunk? Like, have you ever played a video game before? What are you talking about? Was this written by AI?
Now, there are some cool things about it. These trigger points, these like save points, will be offered to the player while they stream media, watching back through gameplay, which they'll be able to select at will. So I think if there is some room for innovation here, like a better save point browser, like that's something that many games do a terrible job of, whether it's autosaves that are only one. So if you didn't manually save for a while, right? And you've only got one autosave, if you go through a door in a dire situation with 1 HP and there's an enemy there, you basically effectively create a non-progression bug.
Broken,
yeah, right. Like there's oh man, the fact that not every game has a screenshot of what that save is, that blows my mind.
The screenshots are very useful.
So if Sony is creating a system-wide system for this so that every game on PlayStation just automatically allows you to pick up anywhere that you leave off, and really, really easy browsing of these points where you can, use their hyper-fast SSD or whatever to load up, like a metadata version of rendering through the gameplay. Okay, I'm not saying I think any of this is patentable. I'm just saying there's a lot of room for innovation here, and a patent is not the way to push that forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
There's even games that allow infinite save files.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. There's a bunch of them. Yeah.
Lots. So effectively, what it sounds like Sony is kind of trying to patent is a better way of browsing them.
Is it? Where do they even talk about that?
That's my interpretation.
But they don't even talk about browsing them at all.
That's my interpretation. No, they do. They talk about browsing. Like you could be watching through your gameplay
back through
and just be like, oh yeah, that point, I want to play from there, and just go. So that's kind of cool.
Where do they say that?
Again, I don't think
they talk
that's
about
patentable.
trigger points.
Yeah, trigger points.
Trigger points that you get to select from, not watch through your gameplay.
Will be offered to the player while they stream media, watching back through gameplay, which they'll be able to select at will.
So it records all your gameplay.
Yeah, well, I think it would be more of like a recording the metadata of your gameplay.
Yeah. So it can,
Kind of like the rewind feature in a racing game. But again, that exists.
Yeah.
It's called the rewind feature in a racing game.
Yeah.
So I really think they're going to have a hard time getting a patent granted for this. But hey, if at least this starts the conversation around... It would be pretty nice if
saving was better.
Yeah, if saving was better and loading was better.
Yeah.
Then hey, maybe that's a W.
Well, if loading was better?
Yeah, like browsing and loading the correct save. I mean, the number of times that I've loaded the wrong save, which I mean, depending on the game, can actually be a substantial time sink. It's like, oh no, it wasn't that one. Okay, hold on, maybe it was this one on that level. I was trying.
Some games
trying
you
to
can't
find something,
even
right?
load from inside the game, so you have to exit to main menu and then search again.
It's just ridiculous.
Pretty annoying.
What else we got? What do you want to talk about here? You seem to be here now. What would you like to discuss?
Sorry,
no, you're good. You're good.
Folding month and pricing update.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Folding month has finished week 3, and the team has already doubled the performance from the.
Are you going to explain what folding month is for the uninitiated?
Folding month. It's probably better explained on the forum, but the LinusTechTips.com forum has a... Wow, I typed 2 L's at the beginning of that.
Oh, Linus.
The Linus. There we go. But yeah, there's a folding section, and folding at home, if you've never heard of it, which honestly... at this point is probably likely. This used to be a thing that was like talked about a lot in computing spaces, but I don't know if it is anymore. But Folding at Home is a distributed computing project aimed to help scientists develop new therapeutics for a variety of diseases by the means of simulating protein dynamics. This includes the process of protein folding, which is where the name comes from, and the movements of proteins. And it like actually looks kind of cool when you're doing it. But it uses a bunch of compute power. It's like what people would do to run their computers pretty hard pre-coin mining.
Nice. And it was more useful because it can actually help contribute to like curing diseases, scientific research, cool stuff like that.
Yeah. So here, boom, there we go.
Folding month the 6th.
Yeah. November 1st to December 6th. Bunch of community prizes. Bunch of LMG prizes.
Yep. Steam codes, cool stuff like that. LTT store. Oh, wow. We've got $100 LTT store gift cards.
20 of them.
20. Oh, we've got 20 of them. Some 4 terabyte SSDs. Yeah, we've got some good stuff. So all you got to do is
a dream machine.
Check out the link. I think we should have it in the video description. And join up. Join the folding team. Let's add some more folding power.
Yeah.
All right. What else do you want to talk about today?
There's a pricing update. Sabrent is providing 2 Sabrent Rocket 4 plus 4 terabyte G drives. Ubiquiti is providing 3 prize packs of a U6 mesh access point and a switch flex. That is very cool. Although the event is currently closed to new entrants, you can still join the event and just help in general, and you can keep an eye out for when we do it next time.
Northlaker in Twitch chat says, just watched an LTT video where Linus said to warn him on WAN show on 24th of November that he went to the wrong timeline. It was the RX 6700 video. Well, based on that's still in that video, I guess your warning came too late. I already went back in time to fix the problem or something. We did a shtick in that video where AMD's pricing was out of line, and it was like something, future me, something comes back to tell me like, oh, they dropped the price and it's way better now and like all this stuff. But then I actually talked about this on the stream earlier, but most of you probably weren't there. AMD kind of helped out consumers, but screwed us over by altering the pricing, I think like 24 hours before embargo lift. And they happened to change the pricing to within $10 of what we predicted. So we recorded our whole video with this bold prediction about what was going to happen after AMD launched this overpriced, stupid GPU. And before we even got a chance to launch it, AMD did exactly what we thought they were going to do. And so the whole intro, and we had this thing where like someone comes back in time and kills me or something. It was like a whole thing. We managed to salvage a lot of it, but the original cut of the video wouldn't have made any sense with the new pricing from AMD that did make sense. So, hey, thank you for the warning. I appreciate you. All right.
Yeah. Ubisoft embeds pop-up ads in old games.
Oh, wow.
Now, I've known about this because I play old Ubisoft games from time to time, but it's usually just on like, you load the game, there's like the play options, settings, whatever. It's usually just in the corner on that screen. Very similar, if you remember when we were talking about the Starfield UI back in the day, and I was like, that logo in the corner, that's going to end up being an ad spot. The reason why I called that out is because Ubisoft has been doing that for years. So has a bunch of other games, to be completely honest. Ubisoft is not alone in doing that at all. But what's different this time around is that it wasn't just on that first screen.
Oh, no.
There was multiple reports that Ubisoft was placing ads for their Black Friday sale.
In gameplay?
When people would like open the map and stuff, it would pop up then. Really brutal. Ubisoft claimed that the ads were meant to appear on the main screen and that they appeared during gameplay due to a technical error.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Look, I mean, we've had our own instances of gross incompetence leading to things that could have been perceived as negligent, or okay, they were negligent, leading to things that could have been perceived as malicious.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not going to say that's impossible. I'm also not going to say it's impossible that this was a little try a thing.
Yeah, my My hot take on this is that I think it might actually be, because I think those old games don't exactly get a lot of love.
Right.
So, like,
the odds of
that
them getting actual development versus the odds of them getting neglected.
Yeah. So somebody on high is just like, hey, we need this ad. And somebody's like, sure.
Put it in everything.
Yeah, just
and someone hooked it into the wrong.
Probably didn't test it enough. Okay. Didn't do something or other. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. The discussion question is like, what kind of technical error would specifically open a pop-up ad when a player opens their map? And it's like, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of weird bugs.
You'd be amazed.
Yeah. I don't blame people for reacting that way. I don't blame people for thinking that, but things get a little weird.
Like, I saw a really interesting interview with one of the developers of Left 4 Dead, who is working on his own game right now. Apparently, he's no longer with Valve, but he talked about how the gameplay experience might have been good in Left 4 Dead 1, but see, I never understood why Left 4 Dead 2 was just Left 4 Dead 1, but with more maps. And apparently, the reason is that under the hood, Left 4 Dead 1 was a piece of shit. He talked about how they would have to load the map 2 to 3 times to get it to work. Like, that was the workaround. And so one of the big driving forces for Left 4 Dead 2 was that Left 4 Dead 1 was unmoddable. The second that anyone tried to mod it, it would just be Crash City.
Yeah.
And so these are the kinds of things that I think, as just, a gamer who didn't work on the game, you might look at and go, oh yeah, Left 4 Dead 2 cash grab, or whatever else it is. But in reality, it was just, yeah, kind of. There were factors. There were factors that you didn't fully understand.
Yeah. And there's some people saying like any form of ad in a video game that I paid for is wrong. And it's like, you know what? That's fair enough, but that's not this current topic, because they've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah. That ship sailed a long time ago.
Yeah.
By that logic, any form of ad in a movie you paid for is unacceptable.
And there do be a lot of those.
By that logic, any form of ad in a podcast that you paid for would be unacceptable. The good news is you didn't pay for this podcast, and it's brought to you by The Ridge. While the holiday season is approaching, you better jingle your bells, not the keys. Our sponsor, The Ridge, is here to solve that problem with their key cases, keeping your keys tight and slick. They also got their popular Ridge wallet. Unlike the traditional bulky wallet, it can fit up to 12 cards and keep it slim. You can even add a Ridge AirTag attachment to these bad boys, so you will never lose them. With over 30 different colors and styles, including leather, they have something for every gift receiver in your life, and you can make it even more special with personalized messages and designs. Of course, the Ridge is not the Grinch. They're offering holiday deals for you, and you can save up to 30% on your purchase from now until December 20th. Head to the link in the video description now. The show is also brought to you by Seasonic. Seasonic's Focus GX 750-watt gold power supply is a great choice for a mid-range system at a great price. It has a fully modular interface, plus their hybrid fan control with fluid dynamic bearing fans means limited fan noise. Their entire Focus GX series is 80 plus gold rated, so you know your system is running efficiently. And Seasonic isn't trying to sell you RGB or gaudy color options. They just want to make something you can count on, and that shows in their 10-year warranty and their customer support. So keep them in mind for your next build at seasonic.com or at the link down below. Finally, the show is brought to you by Newegg. Is your budget small, like Linus's hand? Stop giving crappy gifts this holiday. Our sponsor Newegg has their Black Friday deals going on now. You can save up to 83%. They have deals on SSDs, CPUs, GPUs, PSUs. If it can be abbreviated with 3 letters, you can save on it today. Add another monitor to your setup this holiday. You can save 33% on the Samsung Odyssey G5. There's a ton of options for a new build or even upgrading what you have now. And if you want to save a little extra on a GPU, you can check out Newegg's GPU trade-in program. Basically, find a GPU in Newegg, send them your old GPU, and you will be credited for the trade-in value. To see everything they have on sale, check out the link in the video description. During the stream today, Newegg actually came away looking like absolute winners. We were working on Emily Seddon's upgrade. She wanted a new CPU, and she's AM4. So we could have gone with a 5000 series because she was running a 3600X or something like that. So a 5800 X3D would have been a great option. But the 7900 X3D had this deal on Newegg, and I'm not sure if this is still valid. Ooh, I wonder if it's not on anymore. Oh, I'm on .ca. Well, get wrecked, Canadians. Checkmate. Yeah, Newegg.com had this wild deal on the 7900 X3D, and they have like a combo builder. This is not part of the sponsored talking points anymore. This is just interesting. I can't find it anymore, which is really frustrating, but they have like a bundle builder where you can make your own bundle. Do I just go to a bundle and then go to more options? Build your combo. Yeah, here it is. And we added the, hold on, where the devil's a CPU? I just want to, are these all Intel? Intel combo build. Oh, for crying out loud. Well, not the greatest experience shopping, but there's a deal here that I want to show you guys because it's freaking wild. Here we go. This one. 7900 X3D for $490 with Avatar, Frontier of whatever, who cares, and a free DDR5 6000 32 gig kit.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
That's $100 value. Why would you ever buy the non-X3D, the not like gaming centric one, or the 4 fewer core 7800 X3D for only like what does that work out to, like $25 less or something like that? This is a killer deal. I love this deal. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. So instead of just going with a chip, I was like, yo, Seddon, are you down to sell your old stuff on Facebook Marketplace? Just yeet that. Pick up a board, and you're good to go. CPU and RAM done, and all you need is a motherboard. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Anywho.
I can do those. It's going to have to load, but I can do those at a certain point.
Yeah, the merch message dashboard's working overtime today.
Yes.
Yeah, as soon as it goes over about 100, 150, it starts to behave like this.
Yeah, that's fixable.
You have to rewrite the entire thing.
There's just other stuff to work on. And we were like, this isn't really going to happen that often.
I will be faster next time. I am sorry, sir.
And yeah, honestly, it's a Dan problem. Yeah.
It is a skill issue. I am working on it.
You need to be able to respond
I'm
to
getting
17
sweaty.
a minute, okay?
I'm trying. I'm nearly there. I'm like at 14, but the number still goes up. You have to be more than that, or the number goes up. It's like any good video game. I'm just bad at it.
If your WPM is not like 400, what are you even doing?
Yeah, I mean, I can burst type at like 200 words per minute, but then the spelling kind of goes out.
Yeah, gets a little rough.
I think if there's spelling errors, that's sort of par for the course today.
Yeah, I don't think Chrome's autocorrect spelling works, so...
Cool.
Sorry.
Okay, well, I got it working. Greetings, LLD. I've always heard that you shouldn't buy a TV during Black Friday because it's common for companies to bait and switch to a cheaper designed product. Is that still the case?
I think it really depends what you are looking at. If you're looking at like a $119.99 TV, it is possible that you will end up, your $120 TV will have been costed down in some way compared to if that model number had been reviewed 6 months ago or a year ago or whatever else. But
I didn't even know this was a thing. That's brutal.
But I think, like, tinfoil hats aside, that is very unlikely to happen on a... Like how do I put this on a like a recognizable part number from a larger TV brand like an LG, a Samsung, Vizio, someone like that. I just don't see them disrupting their supply chain to do one deal. And the reality of it is that if they are cheaping out in a way that is going to affect the product performance and quality, they are opening themselves up to a ton of legal or returns liability that would grossly outweigh any potential gain that they could have from selling a few more TVs on Black Friday. I just don't. I just don't see that being realistic. I could see, like I said, if you're buying like an RCA TV, where like the brand has changed hands multiple times and it could be any random thing under the, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's going to continue to be the case. But I think that as those rando brands have become more accessible day to day, like you can get a Black Friday deal on a cheaply made crappy TV any day. You just go on wish.com or whatever, right? Okay, wish.com doesn't have a ton of TV deals, but I think you guys get my point. I just don't think that that's as much of a Black Friday phenomenon as maybe it once was.
Okay. Hi LLD, how would you handle the soulless aspects of a job where you're asked to do things that feel slightly less than your moral standard for pushing an add-on purchase you know they don't need?
I mean, I generally ignored whatever spiffs we were offered back when I was at NCIX, or, you know, what we were told to push. And that got me promoted because my customers loved that they got good stuff that was really good and at a fair price. I can't promise that it would work that way at every company. I think at a lot of companies that would just get you fired. So it all kind of comes. And look, I'm not going to pass some kind of moral judgment and say, well, then you should stand up and you should, hand in your resignation, or you are less of a man. Like that's ridiculous. I understand that everybody's got to eat, and at the end of the day, business is always what it is. If there's no margin in desktop PCs, your store is going to tell you, hey, try to attach a printer because there's good margin in that. And if all you ever did was sell desktop PCs with no printers, the store would ultimately go out of business. You could try to talk to management and say, hey, maybe we should charge more for PCs. And then they would say, well, good luck with that. The store down the street has lower advertised prices on their PCs, and their reps do a really great job of upselling monster HDMI cables or whatever the modern equivalent of that is. And if we aren't in business, they're going to be the only ones left. So I guess the ends justify the means. I guess all I'm trying to say is this is clearly shades of gray, and I'm not here to pass any kind of moral judgment. I always found that for me, I was able to create better relationships with my customers by educating them, helping point them in the right direction, regardless of what corporate had to say about it. But NCIX just wasn't organized enough to discipline anyone for not getting with the program when it came to pushing products. So I don't know what to tell you.
When I used to do sales at Best Buy before I got into the Geek Squad side of things, I would actually sell a lot of stuff because I knew what I was talking about, I guess. And I would usually avoid upselling things in general, but you also can't ignore that people might want those things. So making them aware that they're available is not a bad idea. Like, I wouldn't push someone to buy a case for their laptop, like a carrying case or a backpack with a sleeve for the laptop or whatever. But I would make sure they knew that we had them.
Yeah, education.
Yeah.
Education is key.
Yeah. Because like people might actually be kind of pissed. Like you would hear of people that would come back in and be like, I like scratched whatever, and who knows if this is real or not, but they'd be like, oh, I scratched my thing, I'm like upset about this. And then someone would be like, well, you could have bought a case. And they'd be like, well,
no one told me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's something like if you ask someone, hey, do you want Apple Care? And they're like, no. Then you might go, okay, that's totally cool. Would you consider a case? I think that's a very reasonable way to offer and attach without being a pushy jerk about it, right? It's all in the presentation too. You can present options. I think that's a really good point without cramming them down someone's throat.
And you might not like said thing, but the customer might, and they might still want to buy it.
Yeah, just educate them.
Yeah. And there are certain lines that I didn't want to cross in regards to things that we sold that I thought were really stupid or absurdly overpriced or whatever. And I'm not necessarily suggesting this, but I do remember one time I walked into the NCIX Langley store still wearing my Best Buy stuff. And one of the NCIX people behind the desk asked me if I was the person that kept sending customers there, because I was. And that there was certain things that we would sell that would be at Best Buy at that time that were really overpriced and really bad. And it's not that I didn't think like, this is not actually one of the examples, but I'm going to use printers as an example.
Sure.
It's not that I think printers are a bad idea for the customer. I just think we have terrible ones that are going to break, are bad, and are overpriced. So I would send them somewhere else in that case.
Well, cables were a classic one that people would sell. Like I worked at an NCIX that was near a Best Buy, and we would often have people walking through the door looking for a cable that wasn't stupidly overpriced.
Power cables, were like insanely expensive, and people would need
you want a $25
cables.
C13 power cables?
Like, are you kidding me? Yeah.
I mean the one that comes free with my rice cooker? Like,
yeah. I would send people over for power and HDMI all the time. But like other stuff, like I had a sale with some dude. I broke like what we needed to sell for the entire weekend to one person on like a Friday, because they came in looking for like a laptop for themselves, ended up deciding to like outfit their whole office, and got like software packages for all of them, got all this other kind of stuff because he was like excited because I told him actual things about actual laptops that like no salesperson had told him before. And then he was like asking about like, oh, I need a solution for this thing. And I'm like, well, you can buy like software. And he's just like, brain explode, and ended up spending tons of money. I didn't like upsell him. Yeah. I just made sure he knew. And I understand there's a lot of gray in there, but like, I don't know. He had a great experience and left very happy. Like I didn't push it. When he was paying for it, he knew exactly how much it was going to be. He wasn't surprised by the bill.
That's the line, right? If someone else talked to this person and was knowledgeable and gave an assessment of how they were treated and the deal they got, would they still be happy with how you treated them and the deal they got?
Yeah.
If the answer is yes, you're good.
I've left a store spending more than I planned on
and been happy.
Stoked about it. Yep. And I'm a very cheap person.
Yep. I spent a fortune on my mattress.
Yeah.
And I'm thrilled about it because I have never had an experience like that buying anything ever.
Oh, he told me all about it. And they're gone now and I'm sad.
Yeah. Like Buddy literally like took two pieces of the same foam and like got down on hands and knees while we were lying on this layered foam mattress and was like, no, that's slightly out of alignment. We actually need to adjust like this middle layer, and like got this one and was like, no, with this one flipped over. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Like calibrated the two sides of mine and Yvonne's mattress to each of our bodies. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Cost a fortune. Actually, you know what? Not even that much more compared to going and buying one of the brands from like Sleep Country or whatever. Super happy. Unfortunately, no, I don't have a name. It was a factory on the North Shore in Vancouver that no longer appears to exist, and that kind of makes sense because Buddy, who helped us, was on the elderly side of things, and I think we chatted with him for like an hour and a half or something like that. Like he wanted to transition to his kids running it, but hey, maybe that didn't work out for whatever reason. So they don't seem to be there anymore.
Gert, which is sad because I tried to call them to go and just got a no line. Gertcher said, not advocating for commission-based sales, but there is little incentive for a Best Buy employee to upsell as there is no commission-based sales there. So Luke did all that out of passion and not for money. Yeah, I made nothing from it. Like
I think
genuinely
you can still
nothing.
get spiffs, can't you?
I didn't get anything.
I don't know. I've never worked at Best Buy.
At that time, I got nothing.
I think they have spiffs.
It was so bad that I remember we had, for like something that we did, I don't remember what, we had like a burger day and they like ran out of buns.
Okay.
And the GM of the store refused to like buy more buns. So I walked to Walmart on my break and bought buns with my own money to like feed people at the store.
Okay.
Like they didn't care about us at all. Not even slightly. But I liked my job. I liked the people in my departments that I worked with. The computer sales department and the Geek Squad department were cool. I didn't like almost anyone else in the store. Customer support was cool, actually. The people at the front, customer support. And yeah.
People are saying no spiffs in their time there. So
yeah. Nope, not a thing.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like actually nothing.
That's kind of stupid. No wonder nobody walks up to you to help you.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
AT Shield 934 in Floatplane chat says, as a former blue shirt, I can tell you that some major brands, Samsung and LG, will release specific models of TVs just for the holiday season. You can usually tell by the model number. Samsung's normal naming scheme is AAXX00 for their sub-QLED TVs. For holiday TVs, this gets a little bit weird, like letter, okay, whatever, some different thing. They're effectively the same TV, but one has an MSRP of $650 and the other has an MSRP of $850 with a sale of $300 off. Yeah, that's not quite what they were asking about before, where they were asking if there's like a different quality, but yes, that is 100% something that exists, is slightly different model numbers, even from one chain to another, to make it much more difficult to cross-shop and price compare around this time of year. Yeah. That's even away from the holiday season or like the shopping season, it's pretty common to see slightly different part numbers at a Best Buy and at a Costco and on it, the manufacturer website, so that you are eliminating price matching requests, because your retailers are going to get on you if they're getting a bunch of price match requests from their competitors who might have a better price, whereas you can kind of slip that stuff under the radar if no customers flag it and it doesn't show up as like, yeah, we got like 300, like it would happen at NCIX. We had monitoring for this where we'd get like 50 price match requests for something, and the first thing we'd do is we'd call up the brand, be like, yo, what the fuck? Whoops, I got the timing wrong on that, is going on with this price. Why do they have better pricing than us? How are they doing this deal? Because everyone's buying from the same person. Like, okay, like BenQ, for example, had one rep in the entire country. So if someone's got a BenQ monitor for $50 cheaper than us, then who sold it to them? BenQ, obviously. So who are we going to call and yell at about it? Because we've got a warehouse full of these monitors that are now not moving, or worse yet, moving at a loss because our stupid competitor has a better price than us. Like that's the dynamic at play, right?
Yeah. Okay, I think we've got one more. Might have two more. Don't remember how many we've done. Next up, how was your Thanksgiving? We're Canadians, so that was a while ago, quite a while ago, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, thanks. Good turkey.
Quick question. Do you think season-based, say Fortnite, Warzone, things like that, will outperform traditional games like, say, Titanfall 2 or Minecraft that are less online? I think what he means is games that have significant changes in cycles, games as a service type thing, versus a game that is sold to you as more or less a single package that you can expect to stay the same and not change.
I mean, I think the market's kind of spoken. I think especially the games that are popular with the younger generation,
they're season-based.
There's a lot of games as a service going around right now, and as much as we may or may not like it personally, I don't think there's really anything that Luke or I can do to change any of that. The good news is that more traditional style game monetization strategies are still here. They're not going away. Baldur's Gate 3.
I was just going to, they always get a shout out.
Beat them.
I was just going to say, like, some of the really banger games lately don't have that. Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3 really just killed it. Lots of people still playing those games. Really, really good sales throughout. People think very highly of the game, and they have very consumer-friendly monetization models.
But I also feel like that's kind of like saying, like the traditional unique IP in the cinema is not dead. Look at Oppenheimer. But it's like, okay, but what about all...
There are a lot of other examples.
The other movies that have struggled.
Wasn't there a topic, like, not even that long, maybe last week or the week before, where it was like some mount or something that they sold on the store for WoW made more money than all of StarCraft Wings of Liberty, which is the original release of the game.
Oh, no.
I think that's a thing. Mount for WoW makes more money than C2. Former Blizzard developer Jason Hall has claimed that a single microtransaction mount in World of Warcraft made more money than the full StarCraft 2 game, highlighting the profitability of microtransactions in gaming. Yeah, so the problem with all this stuff is that people keep buying it, and the whole vote with your wallet thing works both ways. It works in the way that most people use it, by, don't buy the thing that you think is bad, but it also works when you use your wallet. It works when you spend money, right?
And positive reinforcement is a lot stronger than negative reinforcement.
Yes.
If you give them money for something once, even if you don't give them any money the second time they do it, or the third time they do it, or the fourth time they do it, they're going to keep doing it because they're going to know that on the 5th, the 6th, maybe we just got to tweak these colors here or play around with balance there. Eventually, you will give them money again.
There's games where they will make microtransaction items for individuals. They don't even tell them about it, but they'll know there'll be like some whale that like really likes, I don't know.
Color purple.
Sure. Yeah. Really likes purple plate
swords.
Armor.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever. Something. So they'll make like a pack for like effectively that person. Like there are companies that actually do that.
And to be clear, guys, this is not conspiracy theory stuff. This is stuff Luke actually knows.
Yes.
And we are not talking about a $20 piece of armor for that person. We're talking like a $500 piece of armor.
They'll put it on the
person.
store and everyone can buy it, but they know that one person will buy it.
Or that 4 people.
Yes.
Those 4 are definitely
people.
going to buy it. So that justifies the art time that goes into developing this thing.
Because some of these companies will have, that's just harpooning. Yeah, that's a thing. But they'll have analytics on their whales so that they know what colors they like, what themes they like, all this different type of stuff. What holidays they like, probably. That one I don't know, but that makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, so I don't know.
So it's terrible and it's your fault.
Yeah, kind of. It is actually gamers' fault.
Yeah,
it might not be
100%.
your fault individually, but it is gamers' fault collectively.
I'm speaking to gamers collectively right now.
Gamers are the ones that made FIFA Ultimate Team so incredibly profitable.
Mm-hmm. And you can't undo that now. They're gonna keep chasing that.
Are the ones that screamed a lot when Horse Armor first came out, but then were complained that there wasn't enough things on the store in Halo Infinite. That blew my mind. When like the top posts on the subreddit for Halo Infinite for a while were like, why isn't there more things that I can buy? Like,
I still stubbornly just wear the stock armor.
Good. Hell yeah.
They changed the color on me though. It's not gray anymore. It's like blue or something.
Oh.
But I just wear whatever the default is. That is what I will always wear in Halo Infinite. I've earned cosmetics.
Oh, yeah.
And I will not touch them. I will not use them. Nope. On principle. I will not stand there in my like flame helmet or whatever during that obnoxious opening cinematic thing where you have to look at everyone's cosmetics before the match starts.
My favorite one is when you just, for some reason, spawn like way out of the line. So it scrolls through everybody and you're just like not there, and then it has to like whip the camera way over so it can get you into gameplay.
I've actually never seen that. That's
really
great.
Oh, that happened a lot around launch.
Ouch.
That might have been part of it, but Infinite just didn't have any content at launch. Yeah, I agree. There was specifically posts specifically complaining about that there wasn't enough stuff to buy. There was definitely also a lot of posts about how there wasn't very much content. There wasn't Forge. There wasn't all of these many other things. But I was just stunned that like of all the things you're here to complain about, you're complaining that you can't spend more money on cosmetics. Something that I'm finding I don't know if this is just a personal thing or not, but I'm finding in a lot of games where, maybe it's like a whatever you call it, seasons pass type of game, where you get part of it as a free player. But then there's like, the really juicy stuff is locked. Yeah. So Infinite's like this. Like you said, you've unlocked cosmetics. You just don't put them on. I'm finding that the default cosmetics are starting to actually, like, to me at least, look pretty cool because you just never see them. Because people are always going to put on at least the ones that they got for free. So like the rarest cosmetics are the non ones. Like these are the default ones, especially once you're like leveled up. So you're matchmaking against people that have been playing for a while and stuff.
hilarious.
I was playing Counter-Strike the other day, and I saw someone with the default skin USP, like the counter-terrorist starting pistol.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that looks pretty cool. I wonder like what that is. And then it ended up being the default skin one. I was like, oh, wow. I haven't seen that in so long. It like actually looks pretty good.
That's hilarious. It's like I'm too Chad to have any kind of like trash on my gun.
Yeah.
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 All right.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it looks great.
What? Oh, responding to. I'm responding to some messages.
Yeah, I've been trying to usually when you're talking.
I don't know. Do we want to bring back speed merch messages? Do you guys remember like speed running them?
I do. We'll see once we get to the end of the show where we're at.
It takes so long when I press post that I can't even process this.
Again, we can fix it. It's not really worth.
Look at this. Blank T-shirts are the top seller again.
Well, it's a crazy deal. It's a very good deal. And blank T-shirts are a very like you're 30 now and you gave up on fashion kind of thing.
I mean, me giving up on fashion was wearing our merch.
Not to typecast our like.
Oh, Linus, we match again today. I didn't even realize we have the same T-shirt on.
Oh, nice. We pulled this again. Love it.
Sick.
I don't know how this happens.
I don't even have that one.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, look, we recognize that our clothes are supposed to just be easy.
A bunch of people in chat are like, hey. Yeah. I mean, my entire fashion sense is I have one brand of shorts, one pair of blue jeans, and then LTT shirts. So like,
yeah,
whatever.
And when we release these pants, I'm pretty sure you're going to switch over to them.
Yeah. Yep.
These are great.
Oh, your fly's down.
Oh.
Yeah, I was literally eyeing them up before I knew they were. I didn't like think they were ours, and I was like, first of all, they look really cool. Second of all, I'm surprised he's not wearing Costco jeans.
Yeah.
And
prototypes.
Yeah, they look great.
Yeah, the tech pants and the cargo pants are going to be really good.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, it looks like Tynan might already have some of the cargos.
Yeah, he does. We have quite a few samples of it because we've
iterated a bunch.
We're perfectionists. And so anyway. Yeah, the point is we're putting the work in and they're going to be really good.
Mm.
All right, are we supposed to do a couple more merch? Oh, no, we're supposed to do some more topics. Hey, let's do some topics.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you want to pick one?
Sure. Let's see here. Let's get the Sam Altman stuff out of the way. OpenAI has reached an agreement with Sam Altman for him to return as CEO following a near mutiny where 95% of OpenAI employees signed a letter threatening to resign if he did not return. Resign and join Microsoft, to be clear. One notable signer was co-founder and chief scientist Ilya, I can never say his last name, Sutskever. Who was part of the board that originally fired Altman. 2 members of the board, including Ilya, will be stepping down, which is an interesting thing. The board will likely grow up to 9 members and include representatives from important stakeholders such as Microsoft.
Who doesn't want to be surprised by this kind of shenanigans again in all likelihood. Yes. I was saying with how much of OpenAI that Microsoft owns, it was wild to me when this whole thing went down that Satya Nadella was just blindsided by this and that they didn't have a seat on the board already.
Absolutely nuts. Yeah. Emmett Shear, who was interim CEO for 3 days after CTO Mira Murati was interim CEO for 2 days, said he was pleased to have negotiated this outcome.
Our discussion question is, who was the biggest winner in the shakeup and why was it Microsoft?
Oh yeah, it was unquestionably Microsoft. There was 2 paths here. Either the entire OpenAI team was going to quit and join Microsoft,
which would have been great,
as the advanced AI research, whatever that team was called for the 2 days that it existed. Or Microsoft was going to get a board seat and get their boy back in action as CEO. So they won either way. The situation got significantly better for Microsoft, no matter what path was chosen. I don't know. The whole Ilya thing is very interesting to me. Because as far as my understanding goes, which there was a lot of rumors around this, and the news was moving really fast, so I might be wrong about this. But as far as my understanding goes, Ilya said that he would not remain part of the board if they didn't find a way to hire Sam Altman again as CEO. But then Sam Altman's demands involved a significant change to the board that didn't involve Ilya. So Ilya was basically like, deuces. Because either you fire me or I quit. Those were like the proposed solutions, which I just found very interesting.
Genius.
And now he's not on the board. So
I, for one, love it.
yeah.
How long do you think it's going to take before this is a movie?
Oh, yeah, it's got to be.
Someone's working on it already.
Yeah. It like has to be. I really thought it was going to end up with the whole OpenAI team being a part of Microsoft.
Apparently GameStop, AMC, that whole thing is like more than one movie already.
Really?
Like, yeah, one of them has a trailer out already or something like that. Yeah. I was, okay, this is all hearsay. GameStop, Stonks movie. Here we go. Hold on. Dumb Money official trailer. Yeah, from 5 months ago. That's a great name.
That is a pretty great name. He's still their lead scientist. Cool. Yeah, I just... Maybe you should focus on that.
Wow, this is from like Sony Pictures. This isn't even just like some random indie movie. That's hilarious. Wait, Eat the Rich, the GameStop saga. This is on Netflix as well. Oh man. Okay. Wow, it's a whole thing. Okay, cool. Anywho, I had one that I actually wanted to bring up next.
Do it.
Where is it? Plex emails Joe Mama.
I was going to do that, yeah.
On November 1st, media hosting service Plex launched Discover Together in an attempt to pivot to become more like a social network. Plex also altered its Week in Review feature so that it also sends users a summary of their friends' weekly activity, including media that they uploaded to their server. What the I says, pardon?
The feature is opt-out.
Oh, yeah. And many users were unaware of the change until it emailed them their friends' viewing history.
Holy crap.
Are you fucking kidding me? Meanwhile, their mobile app still doesn't autoplay the next video for me on Android. The way, the extent to which Plex has managed to deviate from their original North Star is truly shocking at this point. So, this is a public admission of their user data collection practices that, from my understanding, they had previously said were no big deal, don't worry about it. I mean, you upload all your pirated content here because we would never, share any of this with anybody or log it or anything like that. Don't worry about it. And number two is like, holy shit. If I want to tell someone that I'm watching some cringe, movie from the 90s that's like, only redeeming features that it has about half a second of Angelina Jolie boob in it.
Yeah. The second he said cringe movie for the 90s, I was like, I 100% know where this is going.
To be clear, I actually don't consider that to be a redeeming feature in a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just trying to make fun of his favorite movie.
It's not my favorite movie.
I've watched half of it now. We can talk about it after.
Okay.
But the point is,
how do you watch half of anything?
I have kids. When you have kids, we'll talk about how you can be interrupted in the middle of a movie. Yeah.
Emma does this. We'll be watching a show.
Yeah.
And she'll just get up in the middle of an episode and be like, I'm going to bed. I'm like, how do you... You're not going to fit it. It's like 10 minutes until the end. She's like, no, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. It's like...
I want control like that over my life.
Yeah, I didn't know. It doesn't
I am
work.
so
I
jealous.
have to watch the end of it. It drives me insane.
You're eating a meal and you're just like, I'm full now. Okay,
Yeah,
bye.
like, wow.
I am done with this project. It is time for sleep.
It's wild.
Yeah, anywho, this is not cool. I am seriously considering, jumping through the hoops to figure out jellyfin or something like that at this point. No, I can't. I don't. Plex already works mostly. I'm at a point in my life where I don't want to learn a new content management library organization software. I don't feel like it. I already know how to use FileBot. I already know how to use Plex. I already know how to use all these. I already know how to use Make MKV. Like I know how to use these tools, and this is not the kind of thing that, if I'm not making content about it, matters to me to spend a bunch of time on. And I'm not making content on it because there are literally dozens of us, and it's just not a mainstream enough topic for us to tackle on our channel these days. So no, I don't want to do this. I just want Plex to not be shit. That's all I want.
I'm looking at the CEO's LinkedIn, which is not something I've ever done before. For I've never had a company do something and be like, I genuinely don't at all understand the motivation. So I've checked out their LinkedIn, and I don't know. Comes from,
What's
Cisco.
bracket computing?
Well, it's something that was sold to VMware, so I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know why it has this logo, because I think
or maybe it was sold to Cisco. Oh no, acquired by VMware.
Acquired
It says
by
right
VMware,
there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Strategy and business development security. Well, oops.
And then president and CEO of Plex for almost 11 years.
So the motivation is clearly not coming from him, because he was there when Plex was cool.
Yeah.
The motivation is coming from whoever's giving them VC money and wants to see their user base grow and thinks that alienating their users is a good way to grow the user base, I guess. So,
I can't think of a single person that I know. If they made it opt-in, sure. But the fact that it's opt-out is insane.
yeah, honestly, look, I'm not going to lie.
Actually insane.
I have ambitions for the badminton center that are similarly creepy. Right here. I am admitting it right now. In my perfect world, you would be able to basically social network the crap out of it. And if you're the guy who beat you 3 times in the last whatever booked a session, it'd be like, hey, your friend, of course, you would have to actually authorize people to see this stuff.
Yeah, so it would have to be opt-in, which completely solves the problem.
The point is, your buddy has booked a session. Do you want to suit up and go at it again?
You can
do you want to try
make it
to
sound cool,
capture that Pokemon or whatever? Yeah, I want to gamify stuff. And for that, we're going to need to get creepy. I don't want any of this data to leave the premises.
Do you want to join
Are you okay, Dan?
There's a mouse on my desk.
There's a mouse on your desk. This is hilarious. We're going to the producer cam. Dan saw a mouse. Hold on. Yeah, I need the mouse. Yeah, I need the mouse for Cat TV. Okay, hold on a second. We have a thing here. Just a second, people. One moment, please. You're holding down the fort.
Okay. Sure. I think Linus should call it something like competitive queue or something like that, just to make it sound kind of cool. Maybe a better name than that. I'm used to names for engineers. But I think he should make whatever that feature is sound cool so that people want to subscribe to it. I have not personally seen the mouse. So it darted towards me.
No, on the desk here.
I'm going to crawl up my leg. I would do a topic, but I honestly think this is probably more interesting than tech news.
I'm really sorry.
No, that's fine.
This is for Linus's cat.
I love that there was a very short portion of time of fear and almost immediately into I must catch this for your cats.
Yes.
That transition was very fast.
I caught one last night. It was in the garbage can. I managed to grab it. We showed it off on stream. We caught it in the bucket. We had there was like a t-shirt on top of this, and I showed it off to here, and you could see it like bouncing in the
Wow.
in the t-shirt.
You caught one here last night?
Yeah.
Oh, we like got mice.
It was the bread. Is this working?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was the bread.
Now it is.
It was the bread that had been sitting here. That's what attracted them, because normally we don't have any food just kicking around in the office.
Yeah, it would be non-perishables
anyway,
that are
so
all red
I had 3 mice that I caught in my garage when they got into my grass seed, and they were great cat TV. The cats freaking loved it so much that I bought like that. I think we talked about it on WAN Show. I bought that crazy topper for it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, before the topper arrived, after I ordered it, but before it arrived, the mice chewed through the old lid on the cage, and the cats have now eaten their TV. So I need new TV for the cats. And then Dan found new TV, but then didn't, and then just released it outside. You know, I bet it's the same damn one that just got in the same hole. Because unless you take it like 15 kilometers away or something, it'll like find its way back. Anyway, hold on. I'm still there's. I'm just going to get in here and start lifting things up here.
Yeah, have a pokey stick.
Oh, okay, cool.
I feel like we need to like action cam with one of these cameras.
Maybe behind the...
This is not doing it justice. Can I action cam with the webcam maybe?
Probably not.
Probably not?
Why
not?
Poking at the back.
Is it cable edge? Hold on, stream. Give me a second.
This is more important. It is. Maybe it went back into the hole.
You know what, Dan? It might have managed to squeeze outside.
You mean, uh-oh.
What?
No, you guys are good.
Don't say uh-oh.
I just touched this camera at all and it immediately disconnected.
Oh, you broke it.
How?
Nice. I don't know. So it could live behind the set here because there's like space to get into the wall here.
All right. I think it's gotten away from where it was at any rate, so maybe we should continue the show at this point.
Okay.
Hilarious. Amazing. I think we have some live traps over on the other side anyway. If we just put one of them out here with like peanut butter in it or put like a granola bar in it or something, it'll probably get caught and they'll stay alive in there for a couple days. So maybe we could just pick it up on Monday.
Okay. Where are they?
What an adventure. I'm not sure where they are. I saw some, I know we had some mice over in the lab, so I know there's definitely something there. And I mean, it's okay. You can just, I would just do merch messages for now. Anyway, he's leaving. He's not there. Anyway, what were we talking about?
You know how they call it the DLL show?
Yeah.
Now it's the DLLM show.
Okay.
Because LLMs,
Yeah.
but also mice.
Yeah, I get it. It's very funny.
Wow.
Wow.
It's got layers to it.
It's like it's an ogre. It's one ogre of a reference joke.
Anyway, Plex emailing your mom is dumb, and they shouldn't have done that. If it was opt-in, maybe you could make a little like movie club that's automated, and
that's
you
super
can
cool.
see like opt-in would be cool. This feature, if opt-in, would be cool.
Yeah, like I would never opt in to get Luke's movies recommended to me because they're shit. So
You haven't watched both of them. You've only watched half of one of them.
I've watched half of Hackers, and it is atrocious.
I didn't expect you'd necessarily like it. I just think you should see it. Also, the only one I actually asked you to watch was the other one.
Yeah, well,
You volunteered to watch this one.
What? No.
Yeah.
I thought this was part of the deal.
No, you made the deal.
Oh well, then
you
I don't
included
have to,
it. In
then
the
I don't
deal.
have to complete. It
No,
then.
I agreed to it. It's part of the deal.
What?
now.
What? You can't say it's not part of the deal and then say it is part of the deal.
No, it's part of the deal. I just didn't ask for it.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean?
I see how this is going to be. Wow, people are so hurt about the Hackers thing. Guys,
I'm not surprised he doesn't like hackers.
Oh, come on. It's
You haven't watched the whole thing.
so...
You're not going to like it, but you still haven't. I'm just saying, You should maybe hold comment until you've seen the whole thing. He's still gonna hate it.
Oh man, it is the embodiment of cringe.
You
It's
haven't even seen
repetitive.
Hack the Planet
The
yet.
writing is terrible.
The thing that people are hashtagging, you haven't even seen
The
yet.
one part of it that I would say has been somewhat redeeming so far is the hackathon hack competition where they're messing with the like investigator or whatever. But even that,
Oh, isn't
as
that
someone
more than halfway through? I think you're like right near the end.
no, it's like a halfway point.
Oh wow.
But even that is it's like my suspension of disbelief.
You can't. No, you can't.
It's like, no, you actually can't do that. That's not how that works. It's not even okay, but you know, just for the sake of advancing this plot point, we need you to kind of pretend this is plausible. No, it's the entire premise of the movie.
You notice how for years I asked you to watch
Pentium 6? The f*** are you even talking about?
You notice how for years I asked you to watch one particular movie and I never asked you to watch this one? I think there might be a reason.
No, you've definitely told me I should watch this one before. I'm sure of it. That's why I got
Not
it
as much
mixed
as
up.
the
That's
other
why,
one.
yeah, no,
Not as much as the
you've
other one.
asked me to watch Pirates of Silicon Valley
Yes.
1,000 times.
Yes.
But you've still probably asked me to watch Hackers like 500 times.
Probably
Like, it's-
because I don't know about that.
Yeah,
probably
it's a
because I
lot.
think it'd be funny though, and because I know that you're not necessarily a huge fan of one of the main.
I can't
actresses,
stand
actors.
Angelina Jolie.
And she's such a huge character.
I can't stand her in anything. She's one of those actresses where, you know what, honestly, I can get behind a lot of like the causes she's supported or whatever.
Sure.
Like that
Yeah,
all
yeah.
seems fine. I'm not saying
Like,
she's
as a
like
person, no problem.
Yeah, as a person, I have no problem with her. I don't know her or whatever. Maybe she's great. I have actually no idea. I haven't seen anything to indicate that, you know, she's doesn't do a good job of the things she's supposed to do, like be stylish and, you know, do things that people like or whatever.
Sure.
But as an actor, I can't stand her. I can't even a little bit. And man,
And this
Before
movie
she
might have,
learned
like,
to
defined
act?
that stuff.
yeah, not making it better. Sorry. Like this is one of those things. I remember reading this article that kind of put into words how I've always felt about it, and it was like, what good movie has she ever been in?
What do you mean? What's that? What's that movie where they curve bullets?
That's worse than Hackers. You're not helping this case.
What is it called?
That obscure video game Tomb Raider.
Oh, come on.
This is like
Even
sandwich after
Yeah.
sandwich.
Dude, Wanted the movie. It's rated 6.7 on IMDb. Wow. 71% on Rotten Tomatoes. Curving bullets, dude.
Yeah.
Just whip your pistol like
I've
this.
heard Mr. and Mrs. Smith is not bad. Maleficent was tolerable. Barely. I'm sure the sequel was awful.
So many of these are like relatively close-in shots of her face, slightly blurred. Like a weird percentage of them.
I don't know, man. Like she's one of those actors that has been in so many movies, and yet, man, this was awful.
I haven't even heard of it.
It was
Obviously, I've heard of Beowulf, but not that movie.
terrible. So bad. It's like, what here would you watch if you were looking to be entertained by a film?
Hackers.
Hackers is phenomenal.
Oh, man.
I just can't stand it.
I love Hackers, but I am incredibly not surprised by Linus's distaste for it because he's going to want it to be...
Have a coherent story?
Sure, that's fair enough. Yeah, he's
How
going to
about
want
that?
that. He's going to like...
Man, the number of times...
He's not going to enjoy like Pool on the Roof as much as other people are.
Dude, the number of times...
He's not going to enjoy Garbage File and like give the rabbit a flu shot and stuff like that.
The number of times they make the joke of these guys living with their moms and
Yeah.
agents busting their door down.
And like a billion shots of the same thing.
Like, yeah, we get it. The agents go after them or whatever. Because they're like, what are these clubs? What are these like parties they're going to?
The rollerblade club where they play.
What the fuck is going on? I completely hit the wrong thing. Don't worry about it.
The rollerblade club that they go to or whatever.
Yeah, and
they play that weird video
this
game.
weird like sim like flying game or something. And being good at it makes you a hacker or something. It's like,
yeah, of course.
I can't tell. I am halfway through this movie. I legitimately can't tell if the writers knew absolutely nothing about hacking or knew everything about hacking and were taking the piss, because it is 0% or it is 100%. It is nowhere in between. You cannot be that wrong unless you know nothing or you are intentionally wrong.
They knew at least something. I don't know that they did. Because there's enough references that are like, that's a little niche. That's like weird that they would know that. But then the rest of it is so deeply wrong.
They might have had a little brother.
Maybe, something like that. Sure.
Honestly.
Yeah. Somebody at some time said something that was somewhat correct. Like, there's even scenes like when he pulls out the Hacker's Manifesto. Yeah, but
no,
then,
the
like,
freaking stuff was not real enough. The one where he just like presses the hang up button a bunch of times, that's not how it worked.
Didn't he do that to get to an operator?
No, he did that to
been
like
a long time since I've seen
he
it.
did that to pay the collect call charge or whatever. Like it was or the long distance charge or something. Like, no, yet freaking yes. But also freaking was not hacking.
Yeah.
It was just making specific tone noises into the phone.
There was a lot of crossover and interest at that time.
Sure.
Like a ton.
But
yeah, he did it to get to an operator. Yeah, people are saying in chat. Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't get to an operator in the movie. He
does.
Yeah, but he somehow bypasses a paywall.
I don't know.
Okay, okay, whatever.
I haven't seen it.
Maybe that detail slightly wrong. My point is,
have you gone to the scene where
really
they're at a more realistic party, which is just like a party in somebody's house, and they see her laptop, and they're like geeking out over the laptop?
Oh my gosh.
That's gonna break his mind.
Oh
I've seen
my
it.
That's gonna shatter his mind. Wait, you have seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's terrible.
Of course it's terrible, but it's terrible in the best way.
Oh man. Oh, so good. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he like can't enjoy stuff like that. So I'm not surprised he doesn't like it. But
Yeah, and
I still think you should see it.
It's like, haha, computer nerds think computers are sexier than girls. It's like, yeah. No. I just mean this isn't even one of those things where I feel like especially in the early seasons, some of the criticism of Big Bang Theory from geeks, comic book nerds and all that is kind of some of it was merited, and then some of it was just like an inability to handle someone poking fun at us. Like there were times when, I definitely felt shots fired, but I was okay laughing at it because it was, at least the comedic timing was good or whatever. Whereas
On Big Bang Theory?
yeah, some of the earlier seasons are not bad actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets really bad later.
I didn't see any of the early stuff. I've just seen like clips here or there, and I'm like, well, this is horrendous.
Yeah,
the whole like take the laugh track out of Friends and it's like not funny anymore thing.
Yeah.
It's like it feels like a very intense version of that.
Oh yeah. It's pretty bad. Anyway, my point is like in Hackers, I didn't feel like any of them were particularly funny shots or
I find them to be hilarious. I think it's really funny.
You know what? Maybe part of it is that you watched it when that would have been a little more edgy or something. Like I'm watching
Probably.
it now, and everything's mainstream.
Yeah, I saw this when I was like 13 or something.
And it's still good 6 months ago. Like, it holds up. What about the antagonist with the skateboard?
And he's like, the
Never
coolest.
fear, I is here. You don't find that funny? You don't find the VR scene where he's like freaking out?
Or what about the video game that they play in the cool hacking underground club den?
Yeah.
We already talked about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Jeez.
No one ever
Have you
beats
seen
her.
Have you seen the VR scene?
Yeah.
The evil dudes in VR or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. I find that very funny. I thought it was hilarious.
Okay. I mean, maybe this is one of those movies where if I was watching it with you instead of while folding laundry,
Probably.
the vibes would be different. But
Yeah. You can't take it seriously. You can't expect anything out of it that's like real at all.
No, it's not that I expect it to be real, Luke. It's
You
that
asked
it's
for the
just
hacking depictions to be more
it's-
realistic. That's like one of the first things that you said.
not more realistic. I mean, the suspension of disbelief is very difficult at that point. Like if the whole premise of a movie was that you embedded you embedded a brain parasite in the sounds that came out of people's cell phones or something. It's like, no, that's not biology. That's just not. It's just kind of stupid. Like, it's not.
I know the reference, and I agree. Yeah.
No, I wasn't actually. What? That's a thing.
Wasn't that close to that thing that we did?
Oh no.
What was the? I don't remember exactly how that
Well,
worked.
we can't talk about that thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that though.
Okay.
I just mean if it doesn't make any sense at all, even to like grade 7 science, educated person, then it just feels like
What about people's heads in Kingsman turning into balloons?
feels low effort. When did they turn into balloons?
Didn't
Wasn't
they
that
turn
in like
into
the
balloons?
third one though? And
Oh,
the third
yeah.
one was pretty
The
stupid.
The first one was the best one.
The first one was good. I still enjoyed the second one. The third one was pretty bad.
Yeah, I found like everyone in the movie taking it seriously, but how obviously ridiculous everything was to be kind of fun. I also, when I first discovered it, was fairly frustrated about the depictions of hacking in a lot of different movies.
Mess with the best.
I like the rest. See, I find stuff like this very funny. I like watching that scene where they're like grabbing the videotapes from each other and stuff. Hilarious.
Yeah, it's cute. It's I don't know. It's
I think you're probably right. If I was there, you probably would have enjoyed it more.
sure. Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay.
The first Kingsman, their head explodes with confetti effects.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. Yep, I enjoyed it. The first Kingsman.
The first Kingsman is great.
I felt was camp in a way that was self-aware. Okay, I guess maybe that's part of the problem for me is I can't quite tell how self-aware Hackers is.
I think they're very self-aware, personally.
the tape thing.
The tape thing?
Yeah, the tape grabbing thing, the tape feeding machine scene.
Yeah.
I thought that was cute. It went on for too long.
Yes.
Went on for way too
There's
long.
tons of scenes that go on for too long.
It's an hour and a half runtime. It's like so full of padding.
Yeah. You mentioned the police break-in scenes. Those get like really old and super repetitive. Yeah.
Yeah, like, what did you do? Yeah, we get it. They live with their moms, and
There's one of them that just goes on. Maybe it was more than one, but there's one that I remember that just goes on for way too long. Like it's just a bunch of different clips of.
maybe
Police
that's
rushing
my
the
main
building.
issue. Is I'm halfway through this movie, and so far, here's a broad summary of what happens. This kid gets convicted of hacking and banned from using computers. But see, this happens in like the opening credits, essentially. So he grows up. He now lives with his mom.
Moved to the big city.
He moves to the city, and he meets a girl and some like hacker buddies who befriend him because he seems to be pretty cool because he can like move himself to different classes.
Because he seems to be elite.
Thank you. Because he can move classes and he can turn on the sprinklers at will, which is a pretty elite hacker move. And then this girl love interest is not into him, but then they are like, there's some animosity between them. And then it turns out they're both hackers, and they had a hacker battle at some point, and then one of the hackers has a floppy diskette of a garbage file that they downloaded from a Gibson or something, but they only got half of it. But then there's a conspiracy where the garbage file is like some kind of virus that can do something.
The person who wrote it disguised it as a garbage file, but it was actually this crazy virus that was going to take down tankers in the oceans, oil tankers in the oceans.
Yeah, because that's a thing you'd want to do for some reason.
Well, it was a ransom. So it is kind of. That part, like, if you could do it, that makes sense as a thing to ransom.
Sure, I guess.
Yeah.
And so now they have to help their friend who's been accused of making that virus, but actually he just downloaded part of it or something, and he's being framed by the guy who actually wrote it, but he works for the government, and then they got to help him by like messing with the investigator. And then like every other scene, Angelina Jolie is like making out with someone.
The problem with what you just did is you just made it much more coherent than it is.
That made a lot of sense, actually.
Your explanation made way too much sense compared to actually just watching the movie.
I forgot that's what the movie was about.
Yeah. Like, that was...
I'm just here for the awkward...
You couldn't help yourself make it make sense.
That's a really coherent plot line. Also, I don't know why you don't like this movie. You don't get that from watching the movie.
All of them are at least 25 and not in high school.
Okay, that's a pretty common thing, though.
I know, but it's so blatant.
It's pretty bad in this movie. It is pretty bad in this movie.
This movie's it's not about that. It's interesting hearing how you like consume
For something
media.
that's not about, the hot high school chick who is actually 25. Boy, does it ever spend a lot of time on it.
I genuinely never cared about that part.
Sure.
I did you not enjoy the like descent scene? Multiple
I don't even
ones.
remember what that is.
They have like you're like a spaceship flying through a city, but the city is like the database within a computer.
Yeah, that's cute.
Hilarious.
Also, like it's not the database. It starts. You start out going through the city, and then it becomes components on a motherboard.
Oh right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cute visual thing. It goes on for way too long. It's like, oh, that's cute. Okay, I'm gonna look at it for a long time now.
A lot of things in the show go on for too long.
Yeah, it should be like a 1 hour movie, and then it would be a tight 1 hour movie, and maybe like funny, but it drags out. It overstays its welcome.
Have you gotten to the like late night in the city steam coming out of the manhole covers
when the guy gets away with the motorbike? Yes.
Wait, gets away with the motorbike?
Yeah, he grabs the diskette and then he takes off or something. Is it a skateboard? I don't know.
He grabs on like the back window of a limo or something.
I don't know.
It's such a terrible, terrible movie. So you don't like so bad it's good type stuff?
I think I do, but not that one.
Oh, that's a
like, okay, what's some other so bad it's good
okay,
movies?
my favorite film.
I think The Cable Guy is a piece of shit, inexcusable. It's so bad.
What is The Cable Guy?
That's one of those movies that people will defend as being a so bad it's good. I was literally the 1 year after that movie came out old.
I don't know this movie.
1996. Okay, I was 10 or 11 when that came out. I did not find that funny.
Isn't that a comedy?
Allegedly.
No. Comedies can't be so bad it's good. That's like, it has to be sincere.
Okay.
It has to
so
be
bad it's good.
It has to be earnestly trying.
The Cable Guy is a comedy / thriller.
Yeah, so it's just a bad movie. So one of my favorite examples is In Time, with Justin Timberlake as the lead role.
I don't know that. Omnipious has Boondock Saints. That's not a bad movie. Is that a bad movie? I love Boondock Saints. IMDb, hold on a second. 7.7. No, that's not a bad movie. Like, what's Hackers? Yeah, like Starship Troopers is funny. I haven't watched it since it came out, but I definitely enjoyed it when it came out.
Starship Troopers is art. If you're saying that's
I love
bad,
Starship Troopers.
then you don't, like, that's satire. That is literally a comedy.
I'm just going based on...
No, there's somebody on the floatplane. It's probably
floatplane
Twitch chat, you know? Okay.
Floatplane chat, okay?
Starship Troopers is satire. That is a
fantastic.
comedy.
Yeah, like Galaxy Quest, also hilarious. That's not.
Yeah.
That's intentionally camp. It's a comedy. It's
Galaxy Quest and Starship Troopers are
okay.
amazing.
W. Calderini says Roadhouse. That's something I've heard is like a so bad it's supposed to be good action movie, but I haven't seen it. Yes, Boondock Saints is bad. How is Boondock Saints bad? It's got Willem Dafoe in it. It can't be bad by definition. Some people like The Room. I've not been able to make myself watch The Room. I've seen like bits and pieces. I don't need to watch the whole thing.
The like movie that was made like about The Room.
Disaster Artist.
Yeah.
So I think I've told this story before, but I watched Disaster Artist without knowing it was based on a true story.
Oh.
I tuned into it over someone's shoulder on an airplane.
Yeah.
So I missed the beginning. And I was like, oh, that looks pretty compelling. And I flipped it on at the point that they were at. And I was like, oh, it's a movie about people making an awful movie that doesn't make any sense. They want film and digital cameras pointed at every scene. So they'll just shoot on both. And no one knows where this guy's money came from. And he's so weird. This is crazy. And it wasn't until the end credits rolled and they did that thing where they show the recreations and the original movie side by side that I went, holy shit. This was a real movie.
That's actually a really interesting way to watch.
It was an amazing way to experience.
That's quite the reveal.
Yeah, I don't think most people would have that. That's really rare.
Yeah,
no,
that's amazing.
It's funny because these are the kinds of experiences that are most magical for me in movies, but are almost impossible to recreate. Another one of my favorites was. I forget which of the bazillion and one Marvel movies it was in, but the one where Thor ends up in a Colosseum fight and his opponent is the Hulk.
Okay. I stopped watching Marvel movies a long time ago.
This was a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah, this was like 8 years ago or something like that. I don't remember when this one came out. It doesn't matter. The point is...
Is that the friend from work scene? I think I've seen that. Not the movie, but I think I've seen the scene.
Anyway, it doesn't... Ragnarok. Yeah, it's from Thor Ragnarok, which was definitely awesome. Anyway, the Hulk is like front and center on the movie poster. But I'd never seen it. I never saw a movie poster, never saw a trailer. And so this lead up to like, who is it in the movie makes no sense if you even glanced at the movie poster because you'll know who it is. But I got to experience it completely raw. And I was like, hey, it's the Hulk. So it was great.
Cool.
Not Hulk Hogan. Okay. I'm still trying to, maybe I just don't watch bad movies because none of these are, Monty Python. Okay, yeah, I'd say Monty Python is kind of a so bad it's good, but that's also comedy.
Yeah,
so Dan,
I don't think that counts.
You're saying anything that's comedy is not allowed?
No. So like the crossover, you can't. It's Luke unplugged it.
Oh,
yeah. You just get my voice.
He is in the chair anyway.
And it broke before I unplugged it.
Yeah, sure. No, there's a very, very fine line between what is so bad it's good, and not all of them are of the same level of quality.
I loved Mortal Kombat. There.
So that might be a good example.
The original. That movie is f***ing awful.
Yeah, see,
you like watching it.
I'm kind of surprised you can like Mortal Kombat and not Hackers.
No, because like the interpretation of what is so bad is good is very different.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat's action, though.
I enjoyed it as well.
It's like campy bad action, whereas Hackers is campy bad f*** all happens, and it doesn't make any sense. Like if in Mortal Kombat, one of the challenges was resolved through a game of like fucking tiddlywinks or something, then that also wouldn't make any sense, and it would take me out of it.
Fair enough.
But at least it has a clear intent. This is the tournament of saving the Earth, and Johnny Cage has to beat the weird thing with obviously fake arms on it. Like it's it's that 70s Batman, just sort of unironically terrible, and yet you can't look away. Like, yeah, no, there you go.
But they were trying. They were trying to make a good movie, and they didn't.
Yeah,
you can't
I think they
fake.
were.
You can't fake so bad it's good. Like hackers tried. The rest
Did
of
they
them
though?
tried.
That's the thing. I can't tell.
I think they tried to make a good movie.
I don't know if they did.
I don't think they tried to
cool.
make the hacking. Yes.
They tried to be cool. They wanted to make hacking look cool.
Yes.
I
right?
don't believe you. because
No.
that doesn't look Cool.
They failed at it.
But a lot of that was like style of the time.
People know
This is
what hacking
1995.
is, right? And
Do
they're
not talk to me about 1995.
You never had style. It's
I was
okay.
there when it was written.
Yeah, but you weren't in the cool club.
What do you mean I wasn't in the cool club?
You were never in the cool
like
club.
6.
Yeah, and you weren't in the cool club. Both of these things can be true. And actually, I was probably 4.
Oh, man. Okay, Napoleon Dynamite fucking sucks. I'm sorry. I did not enjoy it at all.
That was way overhyped. That was a very exhausting time to live in because, like, people at school would have the Vote for Pedro shirts.
Oh, it was kind of
People were
it was quotable.
so into it. It was
Eat your
just
food,
like,
Tina.
Oh man.
Maybe part of the problem was I watched it in like a feverish like fugue state because I was like I was very sick. Like I was bedridden. And even in that state, I couldn't bear to sit through it. It was so bad.
I didn't mind it, but it was exhausting.
Oh,
like people were too into it. It was kind of insane. It was one of those things that where like at that time, if you weren't into it, you were like looked down upon, and it was weird. So like people would be into it just to be cool, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it was
And
kind
it
of
was
the,
just like-
the hit thing at the moment, right?
Ugh, yeah, it was very okay. Now it was a lot. It was too much.
I've got one that'll get me canceled.
Mm.
My Neighbor Totoro.
What? Sorry, you're calling that a bad movie?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, nothing happens in it, but
exactly.
I think for me, I actually only watched that fairly recently, like a couple years ago. I watched it with my kids. It was great. It's not as good as what's the one where they end up in like the hotel for like monsters or whatever. I forget what that one's called. Spirited Away.
Yeah.
Definitely not as good as Spirited Away. But like my kids
Chad's
just
so mad.
I told you they would cancel me.
Yeah,
it's
Spirited Away is absolutely incredible.
it's just raw childish wonder. I don't know.
Totoro's more like it's
Exactly.
like a poem as a movie.
It's
Yeah.
wonderful. It's wonderful.
visual.
You can't say it's wonderful now.
Electro,
Yeah, but it's a bad movie.
Electrobot says
a great
Mars
experience.
Attacks.
What?
Mars Attacks.
What?
Mars Attacks is great.
Yeah.
But it's also not trying to be. It is exactly.
Yeah.
Anytime Tom Jones shows up, it's exactly what it's trying to be. All right.
Yeah. Jeez.
Why don't we move on?
Okay.
I feel like we're probably losing a lot of viewers right now forever.
That's
Going
my
after
fault.
My Neighbor Totoro.
That's
How
literally
dare
me.
you?
I'm so sorry.
How dare you?
This will be the next controversy.
So wait, you said bad movie, great experience?
Yeah, as Linus said, nothing happens. But like it's magical the whole time and really
But
good.
you had a great time.
Yeah, that's a good movie. That's a good movie.
Nah, movie is a thing, you know.
I disagree.
Like we can say the same thing about Hackers. Like I liked watching Hackers the whole time.
it's a terrible movie.
And I liked watching Neighbor Totoro the whole time.
Yeah, but Hackers. I think comparing Hackers and Totoro is
I told you.
a very difficult.
I told you canceled.
a difficult essay to write.
In this essay, I will destroy my entire professional career. Miyazaki, Hackers, same playing field. Angelina Jolie,
Cat Bus.
Cat Buzz. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, we're at WAN After Dark territory.
Are
but
there any topics we were supposed to do?
What are we?
There is. There's a segment that you got to do.
Hold on, manifest V3 Destiny is our topic here. Google is resuming its controversial Manifest V3 extension format for Chrome, which it paused earlier this year following public backlash due to how sharply it restricts web filtering and ad blocking.
Sorry, someone.
What? What now?
Dan, I think Dan knows already.
Oh no, what happened?
Avon Fox in Floatplay chat just said, "My neighbor Angelina Jolie."
Oh my god, you got 128 baud. Cat bus. Cat bus got 8 megs of RAM. We can surf the power lines all night long.
You find your daughter sleeping on her.
Oh boy.
I ain't judging.
Okay. All right. So some.
The original proposal for Manifest v3 limited web filters to 5,000 filtering rules, which Google has relaxed to a limit of 30,000 rules. uBlock Origin currently has over 300,000 filtering rules available to users. In June 2024, Google will turn off Manifest v2, meaning that v2-based extensions will be unavailable from the Chrome Web Store and will automatically be disabled in users' browsers. Google has argued that Manifest v3, by limiting extensions, will better protect user privacy and streamline Chrome. However, civil liberties groups and security experts have criticized these claims, as v3 also limits users' ability to protect themselves, especially their ability to protect themselves from Google, who is responsible for a massive amount of internet tracking. It also appears that Google has hard-coded an artificial 5-second loading delay into YouTube for certain users. This was initially thought to be targeted against Firefox and Safari browsers because the delay disappeared when the site was tricked into perceiving the browser as Chrome. However, later user reports indicated that the delay could appear on Edge and Chrome as well. Oh, cool. YouTube denied that this was a matter of which browser and heavily implied that the delay was instead intended to punish ad blockers. So the campaign that Google is running against ad blocking is clearly ongoing, and it will be interesting to watch how this plays out in the coming years because it's far from over.
The whole punishing ad blockers thing I've always found very interesting because they're like, we want you to have a particularly worse time, but we're a publicly traded company. A lot of our money comes from amount of users. So we don't want you to leave. We just want to annoy you. And it's interesting how they try to play that line. They're like, we want to annoy you enough that we can maybe push you into buying something, but we don't want to annoy you enough that you leave. So we're going to make you wait 5 seconds, I guess.
Yeah,
whatever reason.
Seems like kind of a nothing burger.
Yeah.
Like it's... I don't get it. Like, and if you're going to make me wait, why don't you make me wait 15 seconds and then make it skippable after 5? I don't know. I don't really get it.
Yeah.
Nothing has reversed course on Blue Bubbles, so iOS-colored bubbles on their Android devices. They have removed the Nothing Chats beta from the Play Store, claiming they were... Wait, I thought we talked about this last week. Blah, 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 blah.
No,
blah.
they reversed course. Last week we talked about how they were doing it.
No, I thought we talked about how they weren't doing it anymore. Well, whatever. They're not doing it anymore.
Okay.
Cool. And then there's one more topic that I wanted to hit here, and that was the EU Parliament.
Oh, sorry. There is actually a small part of this that is important. Hold on. Let's go back. Sunbird. We talked about Sunbird last week. You asked, does this sound secure? And I was like, yeah. Well, turns out, not really. Sunbird might not collect users' messages on its own servers, but it was found that Sunbird stores thousands of media files in the cloud service Firebase, indicating that it might be collecting and storing them externally. And if I remember correctly, they transfer some amount of stuff through just straight up HTTP, not HTTPS.
Oh, sick.
So
not good then.
Yeah. Sunbird, not cool.
What is cool is the EU. Like, can they stop posting these massive W's so we don't have to talk about them every single week?
We got to put a really squared off chin on the EU logo.
The European Parliament has near unanimously approved a final draft of regulatory rules which require transparent, fair parts pricing, access to essential spare parts, and require repair services to be available even after the end of warranties, and ban software blocks that are intended to hamper repair, aka parts pairing. 590 votes were in favor, with 15 paid off by big tech, and another 15 that were too chicken shit to show up. Wow!
So sick.
That is incredible. Like, this stuff is not justifiable. Right? Like, Apple, by all means, serialize your displays or whatever. That's fine. so that you can track your parts out there in the wild. Put little, like Apple, this is kind of cool. Apple has like little micro engravings on some of their stuff so that they can track which supplier it came from and all that kind of cool stuff. By all means, do that stuff.
Sure.
But when I take my iPhone screen and I put it in an iPhone, it needs to just work. No, there shouldn't be a special process to pair it. That is absolutely ridiculous. And now finally a governing body agrees. In December, the EU Parliament will negotiate the rules with the European Council, which is composed of the heads of state of EU countries. If both bodies pass the legislation, it will become law. That process will take at least a year. Finally.
So cool.
Finally.
So cool.
It's happening. EU with the W.
I would have never guessed this would have been like the thing that would have solved a lot of these problems.
No, me neither. I didn't see this.
Even when the EU was being formed, no inkling in my mind.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But it's happening. Stoked
Okay,
on it.
there's a segment here. Linus and Luke react to the social team's cool case design. Do you know anything about this? Have you heard about this?
Personally,
Dan
no.
seems to know something
Dan
about
just
this.
took off.
He's not in his chair. That's an outdated, that's a still from before, but he's also not in his chair right now. So cool.
I think that camera follows motion, and I think the fact that I lifted the camera, I think it got really upset. What?
Oh, cute.
What is this? It's like Hackers the Computer Case.
Wow, this is
Caution, do not drop. What is this
really
for?
something. What is this? Wow. It looks like you're, hold on, what does that say? It looks like you're trying to open up the back panel. Would you like a tech tip instead? I swear it's not messy in there. They made me clippy. I'm clippy now. Also, is this the Windows XP back? Oh my gosh, it goes all the way into the inside. That is amazing.
This is like too well done.
It's green grass on the inside.
How is this painted? It's not a sticker, I don't think.
Is this like a UV print? Wow, this is so cool. Okay, well, it apparently came from V1 Tech for a sponsored post.
Oh.
But the aesthetic and the memes are courtesy of the social team.
Okay.
Great job, you guys.
Very cool.
It looks absolutely fantastic.
I was just confused at like how they did it, but V1 Tech, that makes sense.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. It's absolutely beautiful.
Great design.
You're actually going to leave that there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Block the whole show.
Yeah, I guess
What does
so.
it say? Do not drop on the GPU, the backplate.
Yeah, it does.
Very cool.
Hilarious. All right, thanks, Dan.
I love the Windows XP theming.
I also love that Dan is unironically
fantastic.
wearing the Uncle Linus's Potato Farm hoodie.
Very comfy sweater.
It is a very comfy hoodie. It's freaking awesome.
That's cool. Good job.
I misplaced mine. I actually don't have one. Don't have my cultist hoodie. All right.
Cool.
My roommate Dan just like actually bought one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
He likes it as far as I know.
No, it's awesome. It's legitimately really comfortable.
Yeah.
So
Surprised. I was so surprised.
I just have so many sweaters that I didn't bother.
Yeah. What would you need sweaters for anyway?
Yeah.
He's a warm boy. All right, I think it's time for WAN Show After Dark.
Yeah.
We're not going to get through all of these today.
Probably not.
Folks.
Although you say that a lot and then we do it anyways.
No, we will not. There are 344 in the arriving queue.
this is the only time he's been correct.
That is not possible.
Do we like speed run?
I think we should do some speed runs. I think we should do some longer answers. Just try and kind of
Mix it up a little
get
bit.
to some of them. Yeah.
I'm going to try to chug through stuff.
But we got over 1,000 merch messages today, you guys. I just don't think it's...
Let's go.
You won't be able to like reply to any of them.
Oh, really?
In the
broken?
incoming. Yeah, that's why I haven't touched them. So my Chrome tab is currently using 4 gigs of memory. And Chrome does not like that. So there's some stuff that's going to get rewritten. So this won't be a problem again. Because when the queue is over about 100, 200,
Holy
then
bananas.
it starts to slow down.
You should be able to reopen because like mine isn't taking anywhere near that much.
Okay, well, can you reply to them?
Got him.
I can see. I have been.
Walked
throughout
right
the
into
show.
that one.
I mean,
No,
if
I
you,
said I was going to
if you hit show on that one, does it show it?
show.
It takes forever. Eventually, sometimes it will show. And I just reloaded the tab.
Yeah, no, doing that does not help. So it'll be fixed for the future. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't keep up with them. If if I was able to have them show and reply to them instantly, like when they're sub 100, then generally it works okay. But
Want to hear some mind-boggling numbers, Luke?
Conrad, do not just start working on this. We have other stuff to do. Sorry.
Want to hear some mind-boggling numbers?
Yeah.
To be clear, today was not a money-making day. So these are top line numbers, not bottom line numbers. But we moved 3,000 blank t-shirts today.
That's a lot.
3,000.
Just a quick note for Dan. Yeah, I just replied and sent one. It worked fine.
did it?
It takes a long time to actually go, but it works.
Yeah, but I have to do one every like
No, I
2
know.
seconds.
I know.
We sold 600 backpacks.
Which probably means 600 jackets.
Yeah. 480 dog hoodies.
That's a lot.
These
That's a lot
are
of dog hoodies.
mind-boggling numbers to me. I don't know. Am I alone here?
No, I just think you're nuts.
That is
I said that earlier, though.
crazy.
Sales are too much.
This year was a correction year. We wanted to create some excitement. We wanted to we have some new ideas for things we want to do on the store. So we're looking to turn some product lines even, and maybe we went a little too aggressive from like a
Pretty aggressive.
P&L standpoint, profit and loss. But you know what? Overall, the community has seemed pretty stoked on it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really positive. There was that thread. There was that thread on the forum of people complaining about our strategy of doing like deal drops every day because they were like, "Well, I'd rather have all the deals at once so that I can consolidate all my shipping." And I was like, I think once the deals start dropping, this is probably not going to be a concern for you. And that thread has gone silent ever since the deal started showing up because it's like, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. That's actually not how loss leading works. I can't put every loss leader deal up so that you can just buy all the loss leaders at once. I'm sorry. That's just not how it works. But I think the deals are good enough that people are not upset. Yeah, like literally. Oh yeah. A lot of screwdrivers, thousands of screwdrivers. Today was a wild day. And guess what? Oh, it's nowhere near over.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
when does it end?
Saturday's going to be super aggressive. Sunday's going to be super aggressive. Monday's going to be super aggressive. So if you saw something that you likey today, the odds are that you are going to see something that you definitely also likey sometime in the next few days. We've got a lot of really good deals coming up. All right. So yeah, sorry, Aaron K, they're not made of bread. And then I can't click on them though. Like I have no way of organizing them then, Dan?
No.
Can I archive them? Can I do anything to them?
No, there's also
Yes.
500 in the queue.
None of that is true. Stop. Yes, you can. There's just a huge delay. Do the action and then move on.
Really?
Yes.
And it'll eventually do it?
Yes.
Because I had one that didn't eventually
You
do
might
it.
have to refresh your tab or do whatever.
okay.
I guarantee you I've done a fair amount of this already.
Oh. No, we haven't considered working with Vessi to stock their products on the store. Probably that wouldn't happen because they're a direct-to-consumer brand, and I suspect their margin model would not work very well with having a reseller.
So, Luke, that's actually interesting because...
Next Scrapyard Wars eventually, Aiden.
Are you control
Archive.
F5 when you refresh?
No, apparently, some laptops can handle over 500,
Over 500.
like in queue displayed.
William is offended that you suggested removing thumb holes. His 90s emo childhood is offended. So get wrecked. Nicholas asked, where do you guys draw the line when covering topics that could be considered not quite legal? You guys have covered Plex, emulators, Pi-hole, and the like. I mean, for us, I think that our line is wherever the community kind of draws it. I mean, we've gone out of our way to make content. I think Pi-hole is probably the biggest example of something that is a clear and obvious threat to our livelihoods, and yet we cover it anyway because we think the technology is really interesting. That's the line. If we think the technology is really interesting, we'll talk about it. Like, this is not a an X-rated, R-rated podcast or whatever the adult rating for a podcast would be. But we regularly talk about, Pornhub, for example, if they're doing something that we think is interesting from a technological standpoint, or if regulators are going after them in a way that could have an impact on the tech industry more broadly. So I think for us, we are
the internet in general.
How is Pi-hole a threat? Are you guys serious right now? I mean, it is. They are a user on Floatplane, so it's not there. You're actually paying us for the content.
Fair
Thank you
enough.
very much. But a huge part of our revenue comes from advertising. Believe it or not, I know it's crazy, right? Like YouTube creators ads, and that's how they make money.
Be nice.
What? I know. I am being nice. I'm being nicely. Understanding that they might not have realized that ads are what supports creators online. I was also confused by it. I just had no idea. Doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. Anyway, I know you guys have done a video on running Windows on Chromebooks via virtualization. Any plans to look at the Ultrabook project? It's running Windows, Linux, bare metal with UEFI. That sounds cool, except I honestly feel like Chrome OS is kind of like the future. That's a super, super controversial take. Oh man, this could be a whole topic. This could be a whole video. I think this will be a whole video at some point. But I think in the way that SteamOS has taken Linux mainstream for gaming, for handheld gaming, and maybe even living room gaming, Chrome OS, mainstream Linux laptop.
Oh.
It supports Steam now.
So the day of the Linux desktop is
Chrome OS.
Chrome OS?
The install base is enormous.
Yeah.
A whole generation of kids.
Man, it's the
grew
future.
Up with Chrome OS.
The future no one wanted except for Google. Windows fanboys didn't want it. Linux fanboys didn't want it.
No one likes it.
But it's what we got.
But there's hundreds of millions of them out there. Darkest timeline.
Yeah. Or like most multicolor because the Chrome logo.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't like it, but I kind of see it coming. No, Linus, no spyware OS. I don't make the rules, man. It's there. Okay, Luke W asks, Linus, you've got $2 million. You can spend it on A, a Rimac Nevera, B, a brick and mortar LTT store, C, to bribe ASUS to make an OLED Ally, or D, you let Luke and Dan spend it on new merch ideas. Well, not D, because we'd end up with bread or something.
Bread did well!
I don't deny that bread did well.
I didn't come up with bread.
I definitely wouldn't bribe ASUS to make an OLED Ally. They'll do it soon enough. So we're left with a brick and mortar LTT store, or, see, here's the thing. That's not how money works. If I had $2 million, I would be able to buy a fraction of a Rimac Nevera, because by the time you deal with taxes, especially the luxury tax on cars here in British Columbia, I would be buying like about 2/5 of a Rimac Nevera. So I guess I'm going to go with the brick and mortar LTT store, but I think that would end up being quite unsuccessful. I just don't know if our foot traffic would be high enough. A small pickup location, maybe.
The one good part of that one is you bought a location. So at least the money went towards what is technically an investment.
Yeah, I'm down for real estate.
Yeah.
I'm down for real estate investing.
Yeah.
To be clear, okay, I don't think I've really talked about this on the show much. I'm not that into residential real estate investing.
Commercial is a lot different.
Don't think it's that cool, but that's a whole can of worms.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Griffin, I don't think we're going to get into non-tech experiences for now, but hey, thank you so much for sending in a merch message. Greetings from Iceland. With the new CEO, have there been some internal changes that he's been able to get through, or is it still a bit gung-ho free-for-all? I mean, it was never gung-ho free-for-all. We had a CEO before. Just saying.
Sort of.
Hey, whoa. Have there been some changes?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Yep.
Thanks, Simunder.
I don't think we have time today to go way too into it, but yeah, there have been, and good ones.
Benjamin, what's a mechanic / quirk of retro games you sorely miss? Man, I don't know if I sorely miss it, but remember cheat codes? Like beep, boop, 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 boop.
I miss cheat codes. I liked it a lot.
It's kind of cute.
There's a few games that like really played into it, like Blitz back in the day was objectively better because of cheat codes. It was fun. They even made it so that like if you didn't know them, you could still like accidentally do it. So like without looking things up on the internet, you could like randomly get some of them and then maybe you'd learn them that way because you'd be able to reproduce it and then figure it out. It was kind of cool.
I don't think we have plans for a standalone windbreaker deal at the time, Zachary. Sorry. When was the last time you broke something and thought you would never recover? LTT breaks a lot of things, says Levi. When was the last time you broke something and thought you would never recover? I don't know. I mean, we're pretty good at what we do.
Pretty resilient.
Yeah, I think
it's like the camera, but we would have recovered. It just would have sucked.
Yeah, I don't think that's what Levi means. I think it's like breaking, like moving fast and breaking things. Like that kind of breaking things. And I think for a long time, whether it was skill or luck, we kind of rode from one success to another. Like there's a long period where our viewership just goes like this. And there are times more recently, like over the last probably 3 to 4 years, when sometimes it dips and sometimes it goes up and sometimes it dips and sometimes it goes up and sometimes we're just at the mercy of the tech industry and sometimes it's because we haven't nailed the tone with the content. But I don't think I've ever really been at a point where I'm sitting here going, we broke something, we're never going to recover.
With enough effort, it's always been possible.
Yeah, we have a great team. I'd love to see a roundup of smart home improvements you've done. Yeah, that would be the shortest video ever, where I just kind of talk about my horrible light switches and my blinds that I can't figure out how to get. Well, what's the word for adopted? Or no, not adopted. I forget what the stupid word is in Node.js or whatever it is. Yeah.
There's a few different messages about Steam Deck OLED and stuff like that. I have officially, definitely, for sure, decided not to get one.
Wow, what a surprise. Luke decided not to buy something.
But I have a better reason now.
Shocking.
Because I did buy other things.
Okay. What?
Yeah.
Not a handheld gaming thing.
Sort of.
Shut up, you did not.
Sort of.
I don't believe you.
I bought Switch games.
Yeah, exactly. I just told you. It's like such horse shit. Like,
but not like the amount of time.
So misleading. Like I didn't believe him for a second, you guys. Not even for a second. He buys games. That's not the question.
Yeah, but they're sick because I bought them in Japan and they're all Japanese. But when you put them in your Switch, they play in English.
Okay.
Which is awesome. So the game cases look cool.
You know that was an option not in Japan, right? You could just import Japanese Switch games.
Yeah, but they were cheaper because you get them without taxes.
No, they weren't because you paid for an airfare to Japan.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. I did that for other reasons, to be fair.
Wait, you haven't talked about your trip.
Yeah, not really. It was freaking awesome. It was really cool. Hung out with Sam. The first few days, my brother and I just like cruised around Tokyo. And that was sweet. We went to Pokemon Center Mega. We're both into Pokemon. We both play Pokemon Go. So that was fun. That whole mall is like kind of crazy. If you're into anime stuff, there's a One Piece store. There's a is it Miyazaki? I don't remember. The My Neighbor Totoro, Spirited Away, all of those, they have one store for that.
Studio Ghibli, there we go.
They had all these other different things. It was a very cool place. Went there, went to, oh my God, I'm going to forget all the names of the things that people like and it's going to drive people crazy. Akihabara, I believe it's called, which is like Electric Town is what it used to be called. That was a really interesting place. I know you have no desire for long plane flights, but
Yeah, Luke invited me to go on this trip as well.
Yeah. You would have had a great time.
I'm sure I would have.
You would have really enjoyed it.
I was really busy back here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do believe you, considering I came back and my to-do list is actually genuinely terrifying. So, yeah, it makes sense. But
yeah, what's it like having a real boss now?
it's my own stuff. It's my own tasks. He's actually like pretty chill. Anyways, but yeah, this place, the amount of like used computers, like there was a very major store with a lot of people in it. The front display facing the street had old ThinkPads from like 2011. It was like very interesting. There's a lot of that type of stuff, but they're very good condition and everything.
Right.
Almost every computer store that I went into had used stuff. Like there was I walked into a store that sold like one-off built computers that people had like sold back to the store when they were getting new ones and stuff. So you get like custom rigs. There's like, it's a very interesting place to walk around in. Yeah, Tokyo in general was cool. We did a few other things. We did something called Team Lab, which was like actually amazing. It's this like immersive art installation thing, and it was actually really, really cool. Yeah, Team Lab Planets Tokyo. So really weird. I didn't expect to do this. The one that I knew about in regards to Team Lab was not this Planets thing. Planets itself was quite the experience. Very cool. Yeah. And then we went up north. We got out of Tokyo, went to Ibisu circuit, and drifted and watched drifting for a few days with Samit and the crew. Barely spent any time with Samit himself because Samit was busy, drifting.
Nice.
And like hanging out with his drifting people. But his team, I spent a lot of time with. They were super cool. We got to do a little drifting ourselves. We watched a bunch of drifting. That was fun to immerse ourselves into for a little while. That was sweet. Did you see one of the life-size Gundams? Yep. Did see one of those. It was a very good trip. Took Japan in general, fantastic. Food was amazing once we got out of Tokyo. And I'm told that's a weird experience, so we probably went to the wrong places when we were in Tokyo. That's probably our bad. I don't know. But the second we got to like the, was it Nihon Metsu? I don't remember the exact name of the town we were staying in outside of the Ibisu circuit area. But once we got out to like the smaller town that we ended up staying in for most of the trip, the food was incredible. Super, super good. Fantastic. It was very fun.
Do you want some of the ones I curated, or what's your plan? How are you tackling this?
My tab is completely locked up, so I'm gonna refresh real quick.
Oh, it just works fine, Dan.
I didn't say it worked fine. You were saying it didn't work at all, and it does. I didn't say it was a skill issue.
You didn't have to say it.
I'm just sitting here replying, and then I was thinking maybe I'll just sit here, have a nap, wake up, and maybe see it go across the screen at some point.
Yeah. How long is
1
the
hour,
queue
40
right now?
minutes.
507-minute queue. So there is really no actual reason to do typed replies.
I feel bad because there's a ton of really good discussion topics and stuff.
There is.
I just tried to curate one and it just wouldn't. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Maybe it'll do it in like 10 minutes.
I'm sorry to the anonymous person who says that your order was canceled against your wishes and the deal is gone.
Hit up support.
Yeah, they did hit up support. Apparently, there's nothing we can do about it. So I'm very sorry. So I've got that one.
Sorry about that.
I got scammed on eBay. What's a scam that you would find obvious but have seen others fall for? Man, a big one is definitely moving eBay purchases off platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And like, to be clear, I've actually had okay experiences with people saying, "Hey, let's resolve this one-to-one." Like this biker put it's like a hog, so it had the like long I don't know what the bars are called that go down to the front wheel, like a chopper style bike. Anyway, one of those went through the door of my car because he just like turned into me out of nowhere. He's like, no, I've got one of these like Suzuki Swifts like in my yard. I'll just rip the door off for you and I'll put it on. And he kind of did. It was like, okay. The lock didn't work anymore, but like realistically, he was going to lock that car. So there, it worked out okay.
You got a bad deal.
What was I going to do? Like go through insurance on like a $400 car?
Yeah,
like
fair
I don't
enough.
know.
Yeah.
See, it seemed like kind of a dick move to make him, have his insurance premiums go up. But like the monthly charge that his insurance premiums would go up is probably more than that car is worth.
Insurance is such a whack
just
thing.
for getting in an accident.
Yeah.
Armstrong, I'm sorry, I went to the wrong timeline. It's $270, not $260. How could you make such a silly mistake? I'm sorry, I did my best. Oh my gosh, this is just, it's overwhelming. It almost feels like there's no point looking at anything because there's so many. Dean asks, if Casetify sponsored you to wrap the Taycan, would you still stick with Warzone? If Casetify sponsored me to wrap the Taycan, I'm trying to think. Would I do it to make dBrand actually mad?
I feel like that would be like a too far situation.
The easiest thing about it.
I wouldn't take their money. But I could see negotiating something where I have like a Casetify skin
in the Casetify version of the X-Ray.
And then I tell dBrand, here's a sponsorship opportunity. I will crush the Taycan in the Casetify skin or something like that. Like that's the kind of wild shit that they would go crazy for.
Yeah, that lines up.
I do not wish to crush my Taycan. We don't have like kind of that sort of wasteful approach to our content. That's the only scenario where I could see wrapping the Taycan in a Casetify skin is as part of an elaborate troll or something like that. Like we've worked with dBrand since basically day zero of dBrand. We were one of their first partners. They were one of our first partners, and we rib each other hard. But there's mutual respect there. So I think that if we were to sell out that relationship, like business is about more than just money, guys. If we were to sell out that relationship for a few bucks, I think that would say a lot about me. I think that would say a lot about our company. I think that would say a lot about our...
Y'all have been through some stuff at this point.
Yeah. Hey, this is a question for you guys, but I'm going to answer it. John asks, if Dan and Luke had to pick a harebrained tech-inspired home improvement project like Linus, where would they start? And would their SOs be okay? I'm hijacking this. I was told today that it is a serious disturbance to have the AC running in the editing den while we're trying to shoot in the build corner, to which I responded, excuse me, motherfucker, the AC is running? The temperature outside is like 4 degrees Celsius. Why are we running air conditioning? And the response was, I think you see where I'm going with this, that it gets too hot in the editing den. And so I'm sitting there, I'm noodling, I'm thinking, I'm going, could there be some way to remove the heat from the computers in the editing den without expelling it into the editing den?
Whole warehouse cooling? Let's go.
Whole warehouse water
Are we
cooling.
doing it?
Well, it sounds like we'll have to. What are we going to do? Run AC in the winter? It's ridiculous.
No, that's insane.
It makes no sense.
Yeah. I like it. I'm down. And we can do it properly.
But no.
The idea works. It just, yeah.
There's a new idea. Okay. Inspired by data center cooling, where they've got the whole rack and they've got like that big radiator door on it. And from what we learned through our various, water cooling things with pools and rooftop radiators and all of that. And also what I learned cooling the room at my house, where I had like the dual radiator setup inside and out. Holy crap. No, Eureka moment. It just came to me. We're finally going to do a case.
Okay.
This is brilliant.
Do you want to detail all of this right now?
You know what? I might as well. If someone beats us to it, I think that people will wait for ours.
We can be pretty slow about stuff.
I think people will wait for the proper one.
Tall shirts?
Chill. We design a case that has its own radiator door airflow style.
Okay.
And is designed to have a radiator at the back. So you air cool the computer and then you run your water outside. So you remove the heat of the system from the room, but you don't have to fuss about with water cooling other than to
You're
just
gonna
hook
sell
up
4 of these cases.
Chill. Other than to hook up 2 tubes to the back of the case. That's it. And then you just run them outside. It's genius.
So you're cooling the air that comes out of the computer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because, I mean, there's other components you want to cool down. No, it makes sense. I just think you're going to sell 4.
4,000.
I don't know about that.
In all seriousness, I don't think that's a real product. But if we were, to do a whole editing den water cooling setup, that actually could make sense because then we don't have to install blocks on everything.
Kyle at Linus, no. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I think whole room water cooling there is reasonable enough. I think if you had I think you did this with the pool. To be completely honest, I haven't followed the episodes closely enough, but if you had a system where you could change where it was dumping the heat, because being able to dump it in the warehouse in the winter would be great.
Yeah.
But you don't want to dump it in the warehouse in the summer.
I didn't bother at home. I actually did pitch something to Yvonne like this, putting like, you know those really silly fireplaces that have a fan beneath some like shredded cloth and they have like red and orange lights. I was like, okay, hear me out. I dumped the server heat into the living room fireplace and I just have like one of those above the fan. That was not successful.
Would have been funny.
That was a failed pitch.
Would have been funny.
I don't need to at home because the pool always needs some heat, even in the winter. You're not supposed to empty it because it can like, the air under the like groundwater can like lift the whole thing if they didn't engineer it properly. And I'm sure that our builders didn't engineer it properly.
Definitely not.
So,
John Panda said, why not duct that heat into the warehouse? Yeah. But we need to be able to also not do that.
Yeah, so here we would want to have a valve so that we could dump it into the warehouse in the winter and then dump it outside in the summer. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Anyway, if you guys wanted to talk about harebrained tech-inspired home improvements, that was sort of for you. And I hijacked it hard. Oh my goodness, this tab is so laggy.
All my stuff just sucks. I have water damage that I have to get fixed that's going to cost me a ton of money, and my AC started leaking again. It's leaked like 3 times now. And I called one AC company, and they were like, oh, yeah, what model is it? And I told them the model, and they were like, oh, yeah, we refuse to work on those now. And I was like, what? Why? And they're like, oh, they're just so trash that we fix them, and then people just blame it on us when it breaks again, and we actually will not work on it again.
Oh.
And I was like, do I need to get a new one? And they were like, if you want to work with us, yeah. But like, I'm not even trying to upsell you. You just call someone else. We just don't want to work on that. I was like, okay. So I called another company. Same thing. So.
Well, what's the make?
It's a Samsung.
Oh, really?
I like thought it would be fine when I got the place.
Here's the thing.
Samsung smart inverter.
Here's the thing about air conditioners. As far as I can tell, like even the big companies will just like white label them and stuff. I don't know. Like when I bought my like Senville one, I was like, who the heck is Senville? Like what even is this? And then as far as I could tell, it was exactly the same AC as one from a different company. And then it was exactly the same thing as some other company. By the way, that thing has worked perfectly. It's been a tank. My in-laws are still using it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's called Samsung Smart Inverter.
Hi, DLL. What has been the best deal you've ever gotten? $5 for a DVD writer back in like 2004 or something. Or sorry, it was a DVD reader, CD rewriter. It was a Black Friday special. It was a whole pyramid of them at Future Shop. And I went for it. It was $5 after mail-in rebate, and I sent in that mail-in rebate, and I got it. It was like $25 with a $20 MIR or something like that, and I went for it. $5 optical drive. Funny story, I never used it. Not even once.
I used to one of the ways that I used to make money building computers for people would be that I would take all the MIRs.
Oh, hey, you probably aren't going to bother with this.
Yep. Do you mind if I take those? Almost always. Yeah, sure.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, there was margin to be made like that because you'd often have like $20, $30 MIRs sometimes, and that's all the margin you would make building a computer.
MIRs used to be a big deal, so there'd be a ton of parts that would have them, and you collect them all together, and it's a decent amount. And it can be a little tedious, but if you build like 3 or 4 computers in a month, then you just do all of them at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not bad. I like it. SIGIN, whatever. Yeah, it's a heat pump. I just call it an AC because they don't use it for heat. What are you talking about, Joshua? No, we should not normalize building $2,000 PCs to play Minecraft. Jeremiah asks, how would you feel about a live adaptation film of Final Fantasy VI? I don't know if it would work as a film.
Very good. Yeah. Not to be that guy.
I think it works as a game. Hey, have you played anymore?
Not since we last
Really?
talked.
You're not going to play Final Fantasy in Japan?
No.
That's fair.
I didn't play like any games in Japan.
Yeah, that's fair. You were busy. Yeah. Michael Cera as Gal. No. How many more of these are we going to do? There's 471 in arriving.
I think I have a feeling if we killed it and even potentially turned it back on again to split the thingamajig, it might work better.
I've got curated and potential if you want to go through that.
Sure. Why don't you give us a few, Dan?
Is that working? Are you able to curate stuff right now?
No, but I did before everything
Before?
kind of.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I said 471. It's up to 527 now. Like this isn't even people buying stuff so they can send a merch message. This is people buying stuff because the deals are stupid. I'm like, I guess I'll send a merch message. Guys, we are not going to, if you send a merch message now, we are not going to get to it unless your name is William G. In which case, I don't know. You were right at the top of the queue. I guess we get to it. I legit forgot to do 2 of the items I wanted, so I'm buying a second batch of items. Thanks for getting brain. Hey, sup, William G. Okay, Dan, hit me.
Sure. 15 years of LTT. Let's go. What is something you wish could be brought back from the last 15 years to now?
I think we already did this topic today, Dan.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. It's been a long
I
day.
haven't been able to pay attention. I'm sorry. I meant to say this was going to happen earlier. I've always heard that you shouldn't buy a TV during the Black Friday because it's common. Didn't we already read these? Did you not? You didn't
totally did
archive
that one.
them.
Well, I did. Doesn't work.
Okay, I'm sorry. Where? OLED. Let's see. Yeah, I wasn't listening.
WAN show just complete show today.
I'm so
try to
sorry,
stop it.
Linus.
No, you're doing great, Dan.
Oh, I'm trying.
I don't know if this is going to work.
You're very trying. Sorry,
I get it from you. I learned from you, sir.
I had to take it.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, don't hold back. Let's see. Tech problems you thought you solved.
Omega Total says mouse. They were just trying to freak out Dan, who is
I don't exist anymore.
who is there, but is
I live in your walls.
Wait, did it update?
No, it didn't.
It looks like it moved.
No, it didn't.
No.
Oh man.
Sorry, I'm really. Where the hell did we get to?
No, did someone turn it back live again? Don't do that.
Turn back what back live?
I turned the merch messages panel to not live, and it like instantly was performing way better. And then
I didn't.
it's back online again, and now
Maybe it
it's
just happened
performing
automatically.
poorly again. Sag.
Yeah, I don't remember where you guys got to.
I don't know, Dan.
Did you have a nice time in Japan?
We talked about that.
OLED. Christmas. 15 years. We know you love badminton. Have you ever tried padel?
A what? No, we have not talked about that. What is padel?
Padel?
Hi, Linus. We know you love badminton. Have you ever tried or considered trying padel? It's probably the most popular sport after soccer in my home country of Spain.
I have a feeling it's going to be like pickleball.
Padel tennis.
I think it's basically pickleball.
This is padel. It looks a little similar to pickleball, which is our paddle sport, but we use a wiffle ball, not a tennis ball. And this appears to be with an actual tennis ball and seems to have actual like big tournaments. Then again, pickleball is getting huge
Pickleball
right
absolutely has tournaments.
now. I mean, it didn't
Both sports
a couple
start
years ago.
with an underarm serve diagonally into the opponent's service box before playing the point out. In both padel and pickleball, the ball can only bounce once. Padel is unique in that you can hit the ball off the walls or let the ball hit the wall to help you make a return.
Interesting. So it's somewhere in between tennis, squash, pickleball, racquetball. This looks pretty wild, man. This looks like a lot of fun. This is freaking crazy. Look at this guy. He goes out of the cage. That's legal? Are you serious right now? So you can take a lot of the beans off of it by just letting it hit the back wall, unless it's a really flat shot. That's super cool.
Oh, that was sick.
Yeah, that's wild, man. Okay, I'd be super down to try it, but I don't think there's a single padel court in Vancouver.
Yeah, I doubt it. It looks pretty sick, though.
Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun. I played squash once, and it was a blast.
The Google
So
results
fun.
for how is padel and pickleball different make you think they're pretty darn similar, and then you watch that. It's
that's
like,
closer
what?
to squash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were talking about your love of city builder games. Have you ever tried Frostpunk? It's a game that always sucks me back in when I go back to it months later.
I have not.
I was going to
It's
tell you.
very good.
No, he hasn't. Neither have I.
You should try it if you like that. Hi, so last week I channeled my inner Linus and dropped a $30,000 TV camera directly on the lens. Ooh. So that's been my week. Linus, as a drop king, how do you deal with the aftermath of dropping stuff?
I usually don't break stuff, actually. I'm really careful when the thing matters, the vast majority of the time. I typically end up dropping things because I'm inattentive and in a hurry. I'm usually in a hurry. And so I will specifically slow down when I'm working with something very heavy, very delicate, very valuable. There are some exceptions, like that one time I dropped the $10,000 Xeon chip. I was really frustrated, and the way I dealt with the aftermath of that was I had to buy my own replacement Xeon chip off of eBay. So I wasn't going to pay full price for it, but I really had to finish that video. Amelia asks, have you listened to the Black Mages yet? Instrumental rock music based on Final Fantasy music from 3 composers who worked on the franchise. I've heard of this, but I haven't listened to it yet. Andrew asks, the discussion with dBrand got me thinking, any chance of a future partnership on a skin or skin series with them? They've reached out. I think there'd be obvious synergies there. The truth is that when I saw Teardown, I was like, that's a great idea. I wish I thought of that. I don't have a better idea.
Yeah.
We've done a couple of drops. We did that cool sticker bomb one. But like, what would be... I mean, I think something that would be kind of LTT would be like a cracked thing or something like that. But that's been done to death. Like, what would be unique, right? Like, what would be different? I honestly I just don't really have any great ideas. And like, yeah, we could just come up with cool designs. Like people are saying, let Sarah design one on live stream. Like, yeah, sure, that's cool and everything. But that's not a product lineup. That's not like a long-term collaboration, right? So I just don't think it. I just don't think it makes sense.
Yeah. What is the name for their X-ray thing?
I don't remember, but it's an X-ray.
I thought
thing.
you just said it.
Oh no. That Teardown is just the shot of the internals. The X-ray one is called something else. I can't remember what it's called.
Whatever. Teardown is like a product line that kind of makes itself.
Yeah, like it has just this long-term appeal. As long as you just continue to maintain it, continue to work on these designs, it all thematically makes sense. Whereas just designing stuff is very, I don't want to say manual, because the process of creating a teardown is very manual. There's a ton of very picky work that goes into it, but it's not cohesive there. I guess that's the word I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
What about, oh, go ahead.
Yep, sure. Hello, LLD, first time buying from the store. If you could direct Creator Warehouse's budget towards making one personal project or product, what would it be? Electric screwdriver or badminton gear, for example?
Definitely not an electric screwdriver. I'm a manual screwdriver kind of guy.
Yes.
I like the ratchet. You know,
Yep.
Badminton gear. Oh, there's no money in badminton. That's not something I would pursue. A really good universal remote that doesn't suck. I still haven't tried the Sofa, whatever, baton. Maybe it's really great, but the fact that Logitech bought Harmony and then just was like, forget it. I hate that kind of stuff. That sucks when companies buy something that's working really well and has a really great niche community that really loves it, and then they're just like,
Never mind.
yeah, lost interest. You know, it's really frustrating.
Hey, DLL. Yesterday I was terrified to find out that there was a silent corruption bug in ZFS from versions 2.1.4 plus. What is the scariest software bug or vulnerability you've had to deal with?
I think at the time, the forum breach from yesteryear was, like, in retrospect, it's kind of whatever. But at the time, I was freaking out pretty hard. These days, like, I don't know, every website on the planet has basically had a breach at this point. And the, like, user data on the forum is sort of whatever compared to some of these other places like 23andMe and stuff.
Well, we went out of our way when we created the forum to hold no valuable user data, like, emails. And we take that seriously.
Yes.
But it's an email for a tech-savvy audience who probably has more than one email address and stuff. Like, it's not...
Yeah.
It's not genetic data.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying
But
it's not a big deal. I'm just saying in relative terms.
Yeah. Like, it would have been very upsetting now. But at the time, I was, like, kind of freaking out pretty hardcore. So, yeah, probably that one.
Thomas S. asks, with the Meet the Team videos showing off that a lot of LMG employees are musicians, LMG band, new Christmas album with proper musicianship? No. Maybe. Definitely not a remaster of the original one. It's not worth the effort. But, Luke, are you down to do a new Christmas album?
Of course. I don't, like, what am I going to say? No?
I don't have to ask Dan. He's just sitting here going, maybe if I'm quiet, I won't this up, and it will happen.
I don't even think I sent the thing to Luke yet.
Oh no, what thing?
What thing? Have you been working on it on your stream?
Thinking about getting a Steam Deck to work on personal projects, 3D and PCB design, on death time at work. Any comments from anybody on using the Steam Deck for this type of application, besides gaming?
What is death time at work?
Like,
Is that just work?
I think it's supposed to be like dead time, like there's nothing happening.
Okay. I mean, I saw a lot of people bringing Steam Decks to Whaleland, and when you talk to them, they're like, yeah, this is just my computer. I use it for everything. So presumably they're doing all kinds of things with it.
For that use case, that's cool. I find myself not really needing, like, a really heavy portable gaming device. I have a laptop. I have a desktop.
I'm surprised you describe it as heavy. I mean, your forearms are bigger than my biceps. I mean, is this
heavy
like get
compared
good?
to-
Get
compared
good, I
to, like,
guess. Maybe you should just get good. Did you ever think of that? Do you even lift, bro?
God. Oh my god. Not lately.
Here, let's go. Let's go. Chin up
I've
competition.
been
How many
sick.
can you do? Let's go.
You'll beat me on that. I've been sick.
think so.
It's actually very frustrating. I haven't been able to go to the gym because you've probably noticed me coughing a little bit during the show. It's mostly gone. But right now, if I breathe really deeply or I try to like brace with my chest, I'll just start coughing. So like not being able to breathe deeply doesn't really go well with trying to work out. So I've been pretty frustrated actually. I feel, we've talked about this before, but you start to feel soft. Like I feel soft.
Feel squishy.
And I feel like I've lost.
Squishy.
I'm sure I haven't lost as much as it feels like
but
I've lost.
It's part of it is just the weakness.
Yes.
And that you haven't been eating enough.
Yeah.
And also, like, I don't know. I feel squishy.
It feels very bad. And there's like some amount of concern, like, oh, am I going to fall out of the like habit or the routine?
Yeah, you won't. You
That
got
doesn't
this.
feel like a thing right now. I'm just very frustrated
Yeah,
that
no, you
that
got
I
this.
can't
You
go.
got this.
Every day that I'm like supposed to go, I sit there and I'm like, maybe I can go. Maybe I can do it. And then I'll like, yeah. I'm like, oh, damn it. So it's like, yeah, I'm not actually worried about that part. It's just frustrating.
Johnny K asks, what are your thoughts on buying controllers specifically for playing PC games? The PS5 DualSense controller's on sale right now, 100%. I mean,
Yeah,
so many
absolutely.
PC games are just console games that run on PC because consoles are just PCs.
There's also like racing games and stuff where like it's actually just better to not use a keyboard.
Ryan M asks, are you guys Doctor Who fans? Are you excited for the special tomorrow? Okay, I watched through like everything that existed at some point, and then I stopped watching because it got kind of stupid, and then I heard it's like supposed to get good again because like, what is it, like David Tennant's coming back or something like that? So
I heard some.
maybe
old
I'll pick
doctors
it up
saying that.
again. That'd be kind of a fun thing to watch with like my son or something like that. But I don't know. I definitely enjoyed it a lot. Exterminate, like, I don't know. It's just it's okay. That's something that I feel like is kind of campy. It's not so bad it's good. I think it's actually good, but it's definitely campy. Like the visual effects are so bad they're good, in my opinion.
Hey, I purchased the big screen VR last month. and
Trent Eccleston underrated.
What?
Go ahead.
And I'm super excited to
Or
find
Eccleston, sorry, whatever.
Eccleston.
Still underrated. Go ahead.
How do you store your VR headsets, and how do you prevent the lens from fogging up when playing?
I store them in a drawer, and then I don't prevent them from. I don't think I have issues with them fogging up.
I work
I
in.
don't think I've ever
no?
had issues with them fogging up.
Fogging, because you have to have a low temperature for condensation to form on it, right? Like that's why ski goggles fog up.
Or just like be breathing on them, but that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah,
either.
that's kind of Maybe it's a particular issue with the design of. Maybe if you had something where like you're like breathing out in the air, like I wonder if you could put like kind of like a breath guard on it or something like that to keep breath, because like from coming like,
It's like
up.
what VR headset is covering your nose?
I can't think of any,
Me neither.
but it might depend on your nose shape. Like maybe if you have like more of an upturned nose and you're kind of blowing more directly out into the lenses, maybe like a little
if you're
like
getting
guard or
air
something.
up there, yeah, getting some type of guard.
I
would
could
help
see that.
Yeah.
I work in aerospace manufacturing, quality inspection.
Cool.
The poor quality control I see daily has increased my flight anxiety. Has insider knowledge ever
Yes.
changed the way you use
My
a
wife
service?
was a pharmacist.
Oh, God.
The frequency, not Yvonne. Yvonne apparently never dispensed the wrong thing,
That sounds probably right.
but the frequency with which it would happen, and at a pseudo-union employer like Costco, the limited recourse that Yvonne, the manager, had to deal with people who dispensed the wrong medication was terrifying. And from everything she told me, Costco was relatively well run. But just like people would make mistakes, which is a life and death situation, and because they're like pseudo union, like they're non-union, but they try to behave like a unionized employer would. They try to take care of people. It's very difficult to fire people, and so you'd have someone that just like makes mistakes, and you like to the point where she would want to just fire them and hire someone who doesn't make mistakes with people's medication, but that was not a lever she could pull. It's terrifying. And like, man, I mean, basically anything, if there's anything Yvonne and I have learned from running a business for the last 11 years almost at this point, it's that experts are just people. Whether it's lawyers or contractors or pharmacists or whatever. People are people, and people make mistakes. They're inattentive. They don't care. Even when they're trying really hard, sometimes they're just plain stupid. Like it's just sorry, and it's nothing. It's nothing personal. I make mistakes. I don't know if Yvonne makes mistakes, but I do. You have to double check everything. Basically, I don't think I would take a pill at this point without like looking at it.
That's fair enough. I think my easiest and best example is there's like I don't remember exactly how the quote goes, but there's a quote something about like locksmiths and people that are into mechanical things prefer digital locks, and software engineers and software developers that are into software things prefer physical locks.
Yeah, it's
like the more you know about it, the more you.
Yeah. Axeman 1984 says, flaws. I used to hold doctors in high regard until I got to know some. Yeah, it's basically that. Yeah.
First merch message here since the NCIX days. Happy 15th birthday.
Hey, thanks.
Do you miss the stylus of your Samsung Note days? I just finished my first year of owning an iPhone and still miss it. No Apple Pencil support.
Oh. Nope. I'm off the wing now. We're working on the review. I'm back on the Note. I do miss it sometimes when I'm not on the Note, though. Yeah, 100%.
Hi, LLD. Looking back, what LTT store item do you think was the catalyst that blew the store up?
I mean, there's levels of blow up. I mean, the screwdriver blew it up. Backpack blew it up. Both of those, that was like an incredible 1-2 punch. I don't know if we'll ever have a month like that again. It's crazy. Like, what kind of validated that it was a thing, though? Man, Stealth Hoodie did really well. I'm trying to think. Water bottles, yeah. Northern Lights desk pad really made it sustainable. Allowed us to hire people to work on it and pay them out of the money that we made from those products and turn it into a perpetual motion machine. Those were probably the pivotal ones in the early days.
Let's see. Long time watcher, first time buying while the show is live. What is a game that you've played that could be seen as a perfect game, but one big flaw is keeping you from saying that?
Ooh, well, perfect is a big word.
It's a difficult question.
That's quite the word. A perfect game except for one big flaw.
I'm trying to think. I feel like we might be aided by like looking at top rated games of all time.
Sure. Yeah, we could do that. We could also Outer Wilds I still need to play, darn it. You know what? This is a really good answer, though. Just look who it is. Says Outer Wilds, it's perfect, but you can't replay it. And I would say Portal suffers from that.
Portal 1.
Yeah, Portal 1. It has zero replayability value. Once you've solved the puzzles and you've experienced that atmosphere and the like...
Is that actually a problem?
Feeling of it becoming creepy over time. Well, you'll never re-experience that magic.
But you experienced it once.
Yeah, sure, but it's... no, I'm okay. Okay, hold on. But perfect would be perfect. And replayability is a valuable attribute for a game. I can replay Final Fantasy VI even though I know what's going to happen. But with Portal, it's all in the discovery of what's happening. It's different.
Someone in Flipling Chat said Tarkov perfect but cheaters. That is so incredibly incorrect.
It's not perfect.
It is so far from perfect. Oh my goodness. Wow. Whew. No. It would be helped so much by addressing the cheater problem in any way at all, with any level of effectiveness, even slightly, other than like encouraging them more. But it's super far from perfect.
Long time watcher, first time buyer, was holding out for the retro screwdriver.
Hey.
Linus, what type of music do you listen to, and has playing Beat Saber changed your taste in music?
That's something I find really frustrating about Beat Saber is I'm at the point now where a lot of the music that I would like to listen to, like if I just want to listen to like, you know, casual Katy Perry or Taylor Swift tracks or whatever, it's mapped at a level that I can't really enjoy it. It's not fun. It's not challenging. And so if I want to play maps that I find challenging, I end up listening to like weeb music basically. And that's not really my style.
That is like I don't like the song, but I really liked Caramel Dancin'.
Oh, that's not weeb music. That's Swedish.
Okay.
It was adopted by weebs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but was it born in the weeb?
It was just molded by it.
It adopted it. Yeah. Okay, sure. Whatever that is. I don't like that song, but it's great.
I love that song. So I don't know.
Okay,
whatever. No, there's like way more weeb stuff if you get into like higher level.
I'm sure.
Yeah, higher level maps. What even is this show at this point?
I don't know. Well, we've got 430 more to go, so
we'll be doing this up still, Dan.
We'll do this the whole Black Friday weekend. You want a 24-hour WAN show? How about a 4-day WAN show?
Dan, if once the Saturday deals rolled over, you realize we would get flooded again, right?
Yeah. I mean, the server won't crash now, which is pretty impressive. So we're basically just screwed forever. I got 2 more potentials here. Let's keep going.
Sure.
Hi, DLL. Happy holidays. Loved your video about the new Threadripper. Why do most review videos on YouTube not include the Sapphire Rapids W series, even though many of them are in the same price range?
Couple of reasons. Number one is that Sapphire Rapids W is not a direct competitor for Threadripper. It's a direct competitor for Threadripper Pro, which AMD didn't sample and basically is only making available to media through system integrator partners. We're hoping to get our hands on some Threadripper Pro at some point, but right now we don't have access to it. So comparing Xeon W at its very different pricing tier to regular Threadripper didn't make a ton of sense because the same customer who might consider a Threadripper would absolutely not consider a Xeon W. Now, with that said, we did include consumer chips, and I think it's fair to say that the same customer who might consider a consumer chip would also not consider Threadripper because it's outlandishly expensive, but that was Threadripper's traditional competition, so we opted to include it. If we were to do a review of a Threadripper Pro, it might make sense to include Sapphire Rapids W, except that Sapphire Rapids W is a piece of shit. So any serious person would not really be considering Sapphire Rapids W by the time Threadripper Pro comes out. So the only reason to really include it would be to demonstrate how far ahead AMD is of the competition, which I don't think needs to be proven. Because the competition for AMD is AMD at that performance tier. And I'm being a little bit unfair to Sapphire Rapids W. It's not a piece of shit. It's just not competitive. It was somewhat interesting if it had launched when it was supposed to, but it was so far behind. And I do think Intel has some interesting stuff on the roadmap for HEDT and for Workstation, but Sapphire Rapids W is old news. It was old news when it launched. And it's kind of a cool platform. Like the fact that you can overclock it and the fact that you can get some crazy performance out of it is awesome. But the pricing is just, who's buying this? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Hey Linus, how are your cats doing? Did they sleep on the bed?
No, they generally sleep in all the like kitty beds and like kitty like towers and stuff that we have all over our. Oh no, I shouldn't say that. Brownie and Dash often sleep in my daughter's bed, but they don't sleep in our bed even when my kids are like staying at their grandparents or whatever. They're super into the bunk bed. They like being on. Cats like to be up high.
Yeah.
And if they can't be up high with their person in the bed, then they will be up high, like at the top of a stairwell, and they'll not even bother going in the bed. They're not going to hang out in mine and Yvonne's bed. It's not high up enough.
I'm not entirely sure. I know where to take this now. What do you want to do?
The number of incomings is still going up.
I think we're at a record
For
quantity.
What do you mean?
for
Why is that
quantity.
surprising?
Well, no, I mean it's still going up at a higher rate than we are dealing with.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can't.
like
really,
I'm archiving them
We
and
can't
stuff.
really. Yeah. Is that working?
I don't know, maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't think so
anymore.
either.
Yeah, I think it actually officially stopped.
Okay. We got 1,200 merch messages. This is stupid.
Yeah. It was like hobbling along there. You could force it by like refreshing the page and then doing a little bit, and then it would stop working. And then you could refresh the page again and keep going. And then now it's not.
Like,
You're showing the dashboard.
this.
You're not supposed to show the dashboard.
look at this.
And you're showing the dashboard when it's
I can't
not
even.
working.
I can't even.
Again, we could have fixed it. I decided
No, I
not
know.
to
No,
because
no,
there's
no,
other
no,
stuff
no,
we
no,
can
no,
work
I know,
on.
I know, I know, I
Well,
know.
now I have to defend it because you showed the dashboard, and that's going to make Conrad sad.
What? No. Conrad did a great job. It's just
Yeah.
like, how could Conrad have possibly known that we were going to get 1,200 merch messages today?
Well, no, we like knew this was a problem. He knew this was a problem.
To be fair, I could have just gotten through them faster. So it's a skill issue. It's my fault.
It is. Yeah.
I'm taking the bullet
no,
for Conrad
I
here.
don't think retooling a tool for like 2 days out of the year makes sense, personally.
Yes, I agree.
So we're not doing that.
But the server survived.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's actually really important.
This is crazy.
Yeah, because now
That's
we
a
won't,
huge win.
we won't lose like the archive.
Exactly.
Which is pretty huge, actually.
So yeah, I don't know. What do you want to do? Do we
I
pick
want you
one
to
of the?
consistently not burst. I want you to consistently be able to type at like, I don't know, 600 words per minute.
I mean, that could work.
Figure it out.
You also have to like read faster.
Yeah.
So you should take some speed reading courses.
Yeah. Maybe use 2 computers at once, one hand per keyboard.
So here's the thing: is that they come in waves, right? And so when it was at 200, like I could be on top of it right now.
We were floating at 200 for
Right.
quite a while.
But
then-
I
And then
can't.
the mouse distracts.
But as it gets to 200, as soon as it goes over above like 100, suddenly I can't deal with them instantly anymore. And so going through and being like, show, that's a show, reply, show. There's like 1 or 2 seconds between me doing something and there being a response.
Yeah.
And then I can't.
Yeah.
It blossoms and then I can't do it anymore.
I like blossoms. That's a nice word to describe a problem.
I
that
tried
gets
to-
bigger.
Yeah.
Blossoming problem.
It's like, yeah.
I tried to cut it. I turned off merch messages and turned it back on again, hoping it would split the archive, but
I believe it's Chrome.
it didn't do that.
Oh, man. I think we might have to call it for today. It has been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you guys this evening. Good luck, dBrand, in their lawsuit against Casetify and Zack from Jerry Rig Everything. I think we will see you again next week. Same bad time, same bad channel, same perfectly fine dashboard, just not designed for this kind of load.
Yeah. Bye.
Dan?
I pushed the button.
I don't know if
Does
it's
it,
going to work. Does
it has
work?
to. It has to load 400 merch messages and then squish them into a 13-second outro.
Is it struggling?
The dashboard's
Oh,
frozen.
it's definitely
Oh,
struggling.
no.
Oh, I'm gonna push the button again.
Uh-oh.
Is it gonna work?
Is pressing it twice going to make it worse? though?
Double outro.
We could probably just run it the old way. Although
Yeah.
I do want to see it.
I want to see it too. I want to see it send it. Happy 15-year anniversary.
Hey! Yeah, I
Yeah.
celebrated by losing a bunch of money. Like, dude.
Just say buy a bunch and I'll push the other button.
Today was a top-line revenue exercise. Let me tell
Oh,
you
I'm
that.
up. Oh my god.
Hey! Okay, I'm excited. Let's see.
No, it should be doing it now. So
This is going to be so
Oh,
stupid.
That's why it's so
the
exciting.
queue got cleared. So
Oh, did it?
it must
Okay.
have faulted over.
Okay, all right.
Or
Say bye again.
Or Conrad did something. 'cause
Oh
he was
no.
here.
I think it's
Yeah,
bye.
maybe.
He said
Wait,
bye
what?
enough times.
Yeah, I said
Okay, good.
it. Did it anyways as an emergency buy.